Well, it's an imposing-looking grandstand nestled on the edge of the desert, an oasis amongst the sand. The waterfalls, the course looking spectacular thanks to clerk of the course Andy Waite, and the grandstand slowly filling up with racegoers, horse connections, dignitaries and their guests. Because today is a busy afternoon of racing, it is the third fixture as part of the Bahrain Turf Series. Yes, hello, welcome then to the third fixture as a part of that Bahrain Turf Series. We've got two Turf Series races this afternoon, one for the sprinters, of course, and one for the middle distance horses. But it is another glorious afternoon here in the kingdom, not a cloud in the sky, unseasonably warm. And we're looking forward to what is an action-packed afternoon, 8 races today. And the Bahrain Turf Series now in its third season is back, bigger than ever before. More money, each race now worth $80,000 US. And with the prize pots on offer, more international horses have made the trip. 21 horses boarded a flight from Europe back in mid-December to spend the winter here. And they've been enjoying some training here with a bit of sun on their backs. You can see the training track there in the middle of the course, and we are going to be racing on the inner track this afternoon. It is the second week running that we're using the inner track that has recently been reseeded, so conditions out there perfect. The official going then is good to firm. We have 8 races this afternoon. We'll be focusing on the Bahrain Turf Series races a little bit later, but today for the local horses, this is an important fixture. It is trials day for the Crown Prince's Cup, which is coming up in 3 weeks' time. So we've got some really good horses here this afternoon, having some prep races ahead of that big fixture. And to talk us through the card and to go through the races in a little bit more detail, here's our commentator this afternoon. Let's say a good afternoon for the first time to Darren Owen.
Thank you, Ali. Yes, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the third round of the Bahrain Turf Series. As Ali was saying, for the first time in this Turf Series, we're on the inner track. Perfect conditions, the track looks in fantastic fettle. Now, regarding the wind, there's always a wind here, and it's fairly strong, but today it is actually going to be behind the horses as they work their way up the straight. So 8 races to look forward to, a big day all round, not just about the Bahrain Turf Series. We've got those trials, as Ali was stating, ahead of the Crown Prince's Cup, which comes up here in early February. So 8 races to look forward to. Let's have a look at today's programme. First race of the day then sees the Arabian horses in action. It's very much their trial race for the Crown Prince's Cup, meeting Kuhailan Weld Zoreya, the winner of the King's Cup and Crown Prince's Cup in the last couple of years, is in the field there. They're going 1,400 metres. Second race of the day is over 1,600 metres for the locally bred thoroughbreds. Galatia is looking to win again for the third time on the bounce. Third race of the day, one of our chief supporting races. This is the Huntsman Cup. Good field here in the Huntsman Cup, with George Baker sending out Sir Winston for this mile race, 1,600 metres. Fourth race is the first of our Turf Series races today, the ADIYAT Cup, brought to you by National Bank of Bahrain. It's race number 4. It's over 1,800 metres, and Zagato will be one of the leading lights there. Fifth race, really open-looking race here. It is the third leg of the sprinters division in the Bahrain Turf Series, the WASMIYA Cup, brought to you by SALAM Bank. Really wide open race, 18 runners going down the straight 1,000 metres. That is our fifth race. Race number 6 is over 2,800 metres, a staying race for our sixth race of the day. Seventh race is over 2,000 metres. We've got the imported thoroughbreds going to post here, and the finale is a domestic grade 2. It's for the 3-year-olds and upwards, the locally bred horses in the field going 1,800 metres. Again, a trial for the Crown Prince's Cup. So that's the card. Now, regarding the changes to today's programme, I've got a non-runner to report. That is coming up in the 3rd race, the non-runner. That's the Huntsman Cup, and that is number 8, Mission Boy. Number 8, Mission Boy is a scratching in race 3. So moving on now to the first race of the day. First race getting underway at 1:25 local time. 7 Arabian bred horses to face the starter. Number 1 is KHALIFA Weld Zareya, the leading Arabian bred in this part of the world. Neil Callan, he's making a welcome return to Bahrain, and he is aboard. Number 2 is Musanan and Hussein Asghar. 3 is KHALIFA ADIYAT for Victorious, and Abdulrahim Jassim takes the ride. Number 4, Obeyan 1867, and Stepan Mazur is aboard, the multiple Polish champion jockey. Number 5 is Al Jalabi, partnered by Mohammed Jamil. Number 6, KHALIFA Afas, and KHALIFA Afas partnered by Adam Al-Balusi. And number 7 is Obeyan 1777 with Hussein Maki in the saddle. So this is very much the trial for the Arabian breds ahead of next month's Crown Prince's Cup. 7 of them to go to post, and we're going 1,400 metres in our first race.
So the horses in the parade ring, and this is the first chance to have a look at these Arabians, some of these who are having their seasonal debut, and it's great to see KHALIFA Weld Zareya back for the first time this season. The best Arabian in training in Bahrain. He's won the King's Cup for the last 2 years. He's won the Crown Prince's Cup for the last 2 years. He's an 8-time winner, only been beaten once in his career. And the champion jockey Neil Callan is back to ride him here this afternoon, horse trained by Fawzi Nas. That is horse number 1, the one they've got to all beat, KHALIFA Weld Zareya.
Moving on to number 2 on the card, and this is Musanan. Musanan, partnered by Hussein Asghar. Abdullah Kuwaiti sends out Musanan. Musanan was a winner here back in November, beat Obeyan by a head on that occasion, has suffered a couple of defeats since then. That's number 2, Musanan.
Horse number 3, that's KHALIFA ADIYAT, and this a horse that finished 4th in the King's Cup last season. But he comes here off the back of 2 nice wins. He's the horse that's in form. He's got the advantage of having some runs this season and comes, as I said, back of 2 good wins. Abdulrahim Jassim takes the ride for Yusuf Taha. That is KHALIFA ADIYAT.
Number 4 is one of the Obeyans. This is Obeyan 1867, and Obeyan 1867's had a pretty good season thus far, with a couple of wins in November over 1,200 metres and 1,400 metres. The multiple Polish champion jockey Stepan Mazur takes the ride. That's Obeyan 1867.
In the grey colours there, horse number 5, that's Al Jalabi, and Mohammed Jamil takes 3 kilograms off this one. Yusuf Al-Boanain trains Al Jalabi. He's going to need to step up on his runs so far this season. Some nice consistent runs in weight for age races, but he's facing a tougher task here this afternoon. That's horse number 5, Al Jalabi.
Number 6 is KHALIFA Afas, and KHALIFA Afas has picked up the silver medal in the last 2 runnings of the King's Cup, finishing 2nd the last 2 years, the last 2 seasons in the King's Cup behind KHALIFA Weld Zareya. KHALIFA Afas, number 6 on the card, was 2nd last time behind KHALIFA ADIYAT. That was a few weeks ago.
And our final horse to look at then is the Chestnut, Obeyan 1777. This one making his seasonal debut in the colours of Al Khaldea. Hussein Maki riding for Fawzi Nas. And this the only horse to have beaten KHALIFA Weld Zareya, but finished behind him in the King's Cup, behind him in the Crown Prince's Cup. So this is horse number 7, Obeyan 1777.
round 4 is 2 minutes delay. 2:47.
In the fourth race. Okay, well, I know that's fine. So 7 runners in this opening race for Arabian horses, a Crown Prince's trial. And we've got a couple in here that are making their seasonal debut. Great to see KHALIFA HUNTSMAN back. He's the standout Arabian here. These Arabians bred in the kingdom. ABDULLA 1777 also making his seasonal debut. And a lot of these, though, are coming here off the back of victory. KHALIFA ADIYAT and ABDULLA 1867 in form and fit. So, be interesting to see how KHALIFA HUNTSMAN does up against these ones. But a great race this. We've got the first 4 home in the King's Cup lining up against each other again. This very much the business end of the season with the Crown Prince's Cup 3 weeks away. And then the King's Cup coming up at the beginning of March. Batman. Neil Callan is back then in the kingdom. We haven't seen him so far this season. He's been out injured. Made a comeback in the UK at Southall earlier in the week. A winning comeback there. And he's got some nice rides here this afternoon.
So the runners are now going into the starting stalls for our first race of the day. The His Highness Sheikh Isa bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa Cup for the Arabian Breds, field of 7, going over the 1400-meter journey. Just looking at Ubayn 1777, number 7 on the card. Goes forward. So first few are in. 3 of the runners safely in place. Musanan, number 2. Here's the next one to load. That's Musanan. Kuhailat Al ADIYAT loads. So just waiting now on Kuhailan Weld Zareya, number 1, to go up into the inside stall. That's it. All in. And they're off. So they're racing over 1,400 meters, and Kuhailan Weld Zareya, the defending Arabian champion, was just shaken up coming out of the starting stalls. Kuhailan Afas began sharply, and right there to the outside is Kuhailat Al ADIYAT, and between horses and rather keen, Ubayn 1777 spot the yellow cap. Kuhailan Weld Zareya is just in behind the leaders. Out wide Al Jalabi, followed by Ubayn 1867 blue and white jacket as they move on down the far side of the track. So going towards the end of the back straight, and now starting to make a spot of progress out to the far side is Musanan. That moves into second last place, but taking a wide course there is Al Jalabi. The one in front is Kuhailan Afas, and it's Kuhailan Afas in front of Kuhailat Al ADIYAT second place. Ubayn 1777 now moving into second, relegating Kuhailat Al ADIYAT to third position. On the inside, Kuhailan Weld Zareya. Al Jalabi has got a nice view of the leaders. They come on down the straight towards the final 400 meters, and it is Kuhailan Afas being pestered for the lead by Ubayn 1777. Out wide is Kuhailat Al ADIYAT with Kuhailan Weld Zareya having to work to get there as they head down towards the last 200. It is Ubayn 1777. Here comes Kuhailan Weld Zareya now between horses, takes over with 100 meters left to go. Meanwhile, down the wide outside, Ubayn 1867 is rushing home as they go towards the finish. The champ's going to have to fight. Kuhailan Weld Zareya may have just held on from Ubayn 1867 second place. A whole host of them there in behind for third position. Kuhailan Afas, Kuhailat Al ADIYAT, and Ubayn 1777. Good finish. And it looks as though Kuhailan Weld Zareya has just done enough there for Neil Callan. Remember, this horse, Kuhailan Weld Zareya, number 1, was running for the first time this season. Just basically swept the board last season, winning the King's Cup the last year, the Crown Prince's Cup, and did that same double back in 2022. But what about Ubayn 1867? Really did fly home down the outside, number 4 on the card. But it looks as though Kuhailan Weld Zareya has just done enough to take out our first race of the day. We'll get the results from the judges box shortly as we just take a look at the head-on of this field turning into the straight. So the defending champion had to work to get there on this his seasonal debut, and Ubayn 1867, number 4, has flown home down the outside. So full results to follow after race number 1 for the Arabian breds, His Highness Sheikh Isa bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa Cup.
Well, it's a winning return then for Neil Callan. First ride back here, it's a winning one on what is a superb Arabian trained here. How did he feel today on his first run since March?
Yeah, a little bit fat. A little bit, you know, laid back. He hasn't run for a while. So he just lacks that little bit of race sharpness that they kind of need because, you know, as these Arabs are, they're quite laid back. They don't put 110% in. But when I kind of got the split, I thought he was going to go and win easier, but he just puffed out on me a little bit, pricked his ears and idled a little bit in front. But listen, going forward, you're going to see a massive improvement in when he tightens up fitter.
And that's the aim today, very much a trial for the Crown Prince's Cup in 3 weeks' time. How about you? Will you be here for riding him on the Crown Prince's Cup? Nice to see you back here.
Yeah, it's nice to be back. It's quite a while since I've been here. Look, you know, just come in. I had a fall at home, so I was quite injured for a while. So lucky to get back after 7 weeks. So yeah, look, it's nice to be back. It's nice to be riding for Fauzi, his team, and His Highness Sheikh Sultan, who I come for. So yeah, let's hope we can carry on from last year.
Well, you certainly have so far. A winning return then for Neil Callan. Champion jockey last season, or last couple of seasons out here. Nice to see him back riding for Fauzi Nas and for His Highness Sheikh Sultan. But in the colours of Al Qadir, it's a winning return for Neil Callan. Well done to connections of Kuhalen Weld Zareya.
And the result, the provisional placings for race number 1. First, number 1, Kuhalen Weld Zareya. Second, number 4, Obeyan 1867. Third, number 3, Kahalat Al ADIYAT. And fourth was number 7, Obeyan 1777. This is there a short head and 2 1/4 lengths. A short head and 2 1/4 lengths. And the official time of the winning horse, 1 minute 36.25. 1 minute 36.25. Winner just returning then to the winner's enclosure, Kuhalen Weld Zareya, the winner of the Crown Prince's Cup and King's Cup the last 2 seasons. This was his seasonal debut. The winner, number 1, Kuhalen Weld Zareya for Al Qadir, Fauzi Nas and Neil Callan. And the results is now official. Weighed in, weighed in. So there is confirmation of the official result of our first race. First, number 1, KHALIFA Weld Zarea. Second, number 4, ABDULLA 1867. And third, number 3, KHALIFA Al ADIYAT. Fourth there was number 7, ABDULLA 1777. Just to confirm, distances of a short head and 2 1/4 lengths. A short head and 2 1/4 lengths. Time of the winner, 1 minute 36. That's 36.25. 1 minute 36.25.
So we come to the trophy presentation for our opening race. This is His Highness Sheikh.ISA bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa Cup for Arabian horses. And delighted to welcome His Highness Sheikh Faisal bin Rashid Al Khalifa, the Vice President of the Supreme Council for Environment and the Vice Chairman of the Rashid Equestrian and Horse Racing Club, presenting the trophy there to Abdullah Nas, son of winning trainer Fauzi Nas. Well done. 2 connections of KHALIFA Weld Zarea, winner of our opening race.
Second race coming up is the His Highness Sheikh.ISA bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa Cup. It is over 1,600 metres. This race is very much seen as an Oaks trial. So we've got 4-year-old fillies in the field. The field consists of number 1, Galatia and Alberto Sana. Number 2, Karina and Stepan Mazur. 3, Aswan and Abdul Rahim Jassim. 4, Atlal, Jason Watson. And 5, the newcomer Libra and Stefan Lajaj. They are the 5 4-year-old fillies. As I was saying, it's very much a trial this for the Oaks.
So let's take a look at these fillies then in the parade ring. A small select group of 4-year-old fillies hoping to run in the Oaks in 3 weeks' time on Crown Prince's Cup Day. And all 5 are in the parade ring. Horse number 1 then, let's have a look at her. Galicia. She's a 2-time winner and she's very much the one to beat, the favourite in the international market, trained by Hada Ibrahim. Alberta Sana taking the ride on her. She's coming in off the back of 2 victories, her latest in a domestic Grade 3 over the 1,800 metres just a few weeks ago. So Galatia is horse number 1.
Moving on to number 2, this is Karina, and Karina was 4th behind Mediterranean Moon in early December. That was her last outing, but the time before saw Karina win over the 1,600 metres, beating Sharid by a length and a half on that occasion. Karina's got 2 career wins on the boards. Number 2, Karina.
Horse number 3, lovely shine to her coat. This is Aswan, who's going to be ridden by Abdul Rahim Jassim for Hada Ibrahim. And Aswan is yet to win in 3 starts. Comes here after finishing 6th back at the beginning of December. So had a bit of a break then. That's horse number 3, Aswan.
And moving on to number 4, the blinkered Atlal, daughter of Lawman. Jason Watson takes the ride for Al Mohammedia Racing, yet to win a race at Atlal. The most recent effort was just a week ago. Sadly, there were more horses in front of Atlal than behind. That's number 4, Atlal.
And last but not least, let's have a look at horse number 5. This is the first time we've seen her on a racetrack. This is Libra, who was bred, owned and trained by Fauzi Nas. Stefan LaJudge takes the ride on this filly, making her racecourse debut. So those are the 5. You heard the bell for the jockeys to mount. This our second race, His Highness Sheikh Isa bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa Cup, over 1,600 metres. A bit of an Oaks trial for these 4-year-old fillies. And 5 will be going to post. Post time is at 1:50. Well, Mohammed Ibrahim joins me now, assistant trainer to his father, Hadi. You've got the two in this one, Galatia and Aswan. Galatia very much the one to beat, coming here off the back of that Grade 3 victory back in mid-December. How do you rate her as a filly to train?
Yeah, she's one of the best fillies that we have in the yard as a 4 years old. The target with the owner for this filly to run in the Ox. She's going to run this race as a preparation for the Ox on the 2nd of February. She had a run earlier, 2 weeks before. She did well, so we're hoping a lot on her.
Is she quite flexible in terms of the way that the race pans out with only 5 runners?
Yeah, she's the filly that doesn't have any problem with the runners or any position in the race. We hope everything goes right with her, and we're looking forward with her.
And Alberta Sana coming in to ride her. Is this obviously it's a new join-up partnership between the two of them. How did that come about?
Alberto Sana is not a new jockey for His Highness Sheikh Abdullah and his son's colors. He had many winners previous year with His Highness. And Abdullah Faisal, the main jockey, and Ibrahim Nadir are off because of the injury. So I think Alberto came in the right time.
So that's Galatia. You've also got Aswan. How do you rate her chances?
Yeah, Aswan, she's a filly that improved as a 4 years old. She had a few races and 3 years old. We're hoping that she gets more experience, and we're going to target her for the future.
Brilliant. Thanks very much for talking to us. Says Mohammed Ibrahim, then assistant trainer to Father Hadi, who's got 2 runners in this race, including the hot favourite on the international market, horse number 1.
So the loading up is about to get underway now for the second race. This is the H.H.SH.ISA bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa Cup. Very much seen as an Oaks trial. So runners there moving up into the starting stalls. The Oaks run over 1,800 metres here in a few weeks' time. This is 1,600, this trial race at Aswan. It goes in there. Aswan going into stall number 4. All in, they're ready, and they're off. Newcomer Libra was a little bit sleepy coming out of the starting stalls, and Atlal began well. Aswan is currently in second place. Karina, yellow jacket, and the leader on the international markets, Galatia, is up along the inside. The back marker is Libra as they continue their work down the far side. And it's a gentle early tempo with Aswan up along the inside running rail. Karina to the outer, then Atlal, followed by Galatia, who's looking to complete a hat-trick of wins. Galatia's got Libra in behind. They head towards the end of the back, heading now towards the final 1,000 metres. And as they enter the last 1,000, it's Aswan in front. Aswan by a length and a half to Karina, with Atlal, red and white jacket, on the inside running rail. Galatia is around about 2.5 lengths further back for Alberto Sana. And then another couple of lengths to Libra as they make the approach now to the turn in and the final 600. So it is Aswan on the inside of Atlal. Then comes Karina, 2 lengths to Galatia, and another couple of lengths to Libra, who's currently tapped for a bit of toe. Running down towards the last 400. Atlal and Jason Watson take over, but here comes Galatia with the big white face and swoops, hits the front, and Galatia in a matter of strides has gone several lengths clear to put this race to bed surely. 200 to go. The spotlight's on Galatia. Atlal second, Karina and Libra follow. Aswan is heavily eased, and the one that's going to be heavily eased, but at the right end of the field in front is Galatia, who completes a hat-trick of wins. Next stop, the Oaks. Galatia the easy winner, Atlal, Libra, they follow, then Karina, and Aswan was last in. So it is Galatia who takes the money in devastating style. Impressive. That's certainly a word that you'd have to describe the manner of this victory from this daughter of Sioux Nation. Galatia, number 1 on the card, just in a matter of strides, just said goodnight to the rest of the field, put the race to bed, completes a hat-trick of wins. That's Galatia, won a domestic Grade 3 last time this race, seen as an Oaks prep. The Oaks go over the extra 1,800, over the extra 200 metres, so 1,800 metres the Oaks trip in a few weeks' time. And on what we've seen today, that will be no barrier for Galatia. That was mightily impressive there from Galatia in the colours of His Highness Sheikh Hamad bin Abdullah bin Isa Al Khalifa. Alberto Sana for Haider Ibrahim, and Galatia winning in devastating style here in our second race of the day. That was really impressive.
Well, let's have a word with winning jockey Alberta Sana. Alberta, what kind of field did she give you? Mighty impressive.
Well, I used to ride in 2017 for these skills. I was stable jockey, I was champion jockey here, and I was riding one filly. She was the best, and she could be even better than Medari. So she's impressive.
She doesn't even look like she's blowing very much.
No, for her she was just an easy gallop. So when I asked her to increase her speed, I actually no need even, but you know it's always better to keep the fillies on focus. And when she kicked, she was amazing.
Neil Callan took the first race win. He's back. You're back. I know you've had a win here already this season, but are we going to be seeing you a little bit more regularly?
Yeah, hopefully yes. You know, it used to be my place, this one. Then I moved to Hong Kong for a couple of years. Then I'm in Qatar, and obviously it's much easier to come here now every week.
Well, it's lovely to see you here, and well done then on Galatia. Wins don't come much more easily than that one. A superb prep run then for the Oaks. Galatia extending her winning run now to 3 on the trot. She took a domestic grade 3 last time, and today another top victory, beating her 4 rivals as easily as possible. Comfortable victory then for Galatia. Well done to Winning Connections. Jockey Alberta Sana, trainer Had Ibrahim. Spoke to his son Mohammed just before the race. Says the best filly that they've trained, locally bred filly that they've trained. And he's making his way into the winner's enclosure, and Darren will call him in.
And the provisional placings for our second race: first number 1, second number 4, and third number 5. That's first number 1 Galatia, second number 4 Atlal, third number 5 Libra, and fourth number 2 Karina. The distance is 13 lengths, that's 1-3, 13 lengths and 1.5 lengths, 13 lengths and 1.5 lengths, and the official time of the winning horse 1 minute 37.26. 1 minute 37.26. That was mightily impressive there from Galatia. That's 3 wins on the bounce now for this daughter of Sioux Nation. So put your hands together and please welcome back the easy winner of our second race today. This is Galatia. And the result is now official. They have weighed in for the second race. So confirmation of that result of our second race. First number 1 Galatia, second number 4 Atlal, third number 5 Libra, and fourth number 2 Karina. The distance is 13 lengths and 1.5 lengths, 13 lengths and 1.5 lengths, and the official time of the winning horse 1 minute 37.26. 1 minute 37.26.
So we welcome onto the stage then to present the trophy, His Highness Sheikh Abdullah bin Isa bin Salman Al Khalifa, receiving the trophy then, Honorary President, receiving the trophy from His Highness Sheikh Faisal bin Rashid Al Khalifa, the Vice President of the Supreme Council for the Environment, Vice Chairman of the Rashid Equestrian and Horse Racing Club, and alongside Sheikh Abdullah, Khalid, and also winning trainer Hadi Ibrahim alongside his son Mohammed. Well done to then His Highness Sheikh Abdullah. So the winning horse, Galatia, winning our second race. Looking forward to seeing her in a few weeks' time in the Bahrain Oaks.
Moving on now to our third race. This is the Huntsman Cup. It's over the mile, 1,600 metres. Let's go through the card. Number 1 is Gume, and Neil Callan takes the ride. Neil and Fauzi Nas looking to complete a double already. Number 2 is Wowzers and Jason Watson. 3, Mr. McCann and Gerald Mosse. 4, Grigadale, Hussein Asghar. 5 is Justino, and Justino's partnered by Lee Newman. 6, Sir Winston for George Baker and Rowan Scott. 7, Bleak and Stefan Lajaj. Just to confirm, number 8, Mission Boy has been scratched. That is a non-runner. Number 9, Meta Horse. Meta Horse partnered by Sufyan Sadi. First run for Meta Horse here in the Kingdom. And number 10 is Follow Suit and Abdul Rahim Jassim. They are the 9 runners going to post for the Huntsman Cup over a mile, 1,600 metres.
So 9 runners in this, and they're in the parade ring. Let's take a closer look at these horses then in the Huntsman's Cup. A lot of these horses met back on the 29th of December, just 2 weeks ago, finishing in behind Byline in the mile race that day. So horse number 1 then to have a look at, that is Gume in the colours of Al Mohammadiyah Racing, one of a number of horses in these colours today, and in particular in this race. And Gume is the mount of Neil Callan. He was a juvenile winner for George Scott in the UK and finished 4th in last season's listed Al Mathak Mile. He has been up to a career high of 106, but back down to 94. Trained by Fauzi Nas, that is horse number 1, Gume.
Moving on to number 3, this is Mr. McCann's. 2 outings so far this term, and ran in a Turf Series race here at the beginning of December, finishing a 8 lengths behind the winner Isle of Jura on that occasion. That was over 2,000 metres, coming back to 1,600. Gerald Mosse riding here for Al ADIYAT Racing and Alan Smith. That's Mr. McCann, number 3.
Just behind horse number 3, Mr. McCann, is horse number 4. It's Bay, son of Kodiak. Here he is. This is Grigadale, one of 3 runners in the race for Al Mohammadiyah Racing. Hussein Asaga takes the ride on this and takes a handy 3 kilograms off this horse. Ali Abdul Majid trains Grigadale, a horse we've seen regularly in some of the Bahrain Turf Series races. Was a winner in the UK for David and Nicola Barron. Grigadale is horse number 4.
Number 5 is Justino. Justino also representing Al ADIYAT Racing and Alan Smith. Lee Newman is aboard. Finished just before Christmas, finished down the field in a race won by Notions. That was over 1,400. And there was a fair effort on a seasonal debut in mid-November, went 3rd behind stable companion Byline. Justino is number 5.
Horse number 6, this is the International Raider. This is Sir Winston, who's trained by George Baker. Rowan Scott takes the ride on Sir Winston. Bought out of horses in training at Tattersalls from Roger Varian. He was a 3-time winner over 7 furlongs. He has had 1 run out here in a domestic Grade 2 just a couple of weeks ago over the mile, finishing in 7 lengths behind Byline. But could progress from that. Now he's been acclimatised a little bit more to the sunshine out here. So that is horse number 6. He looks really well in the parade ring. That is Sir Winston.
Number 9 is Meta Horse, and Meta Horse is running for the first time in the Kingdom. Formerly trained in the UK by Darrell Holland. Won a couple of times in the UK. He's not run since finishing 3rd in softish conditions at Pontefract in October. Has won a couple of times, I was saying, in the UK at 1,200 and 1,400 metres. That's Meta Horse, number 9.
Meta Horse by the great Havana Grey. Meta Horse having his first run here. And just behind him, or we'll just have a look at horse number 7, in fact, just in front of him. That is Bleak. Stefan LeJudge takes the ride for Fawzi Nas. This horse, owned and trained by Fawzi, comes here off the back of a nice win just last week over the 1,400 metre distance. Beat Modman by a neck last week. So horse in fine form. That is horse number 7, Bleak.
Number 2 is the Grey Son of Kodiak. This is Wowzers, Jason Watson aboard for Fawzi Nas. Running for the first time this season. When last seen back in March here in the Kingdom, finished behind Byline. That's number 2, Wowzers, on its seasonal debut here in the Kingdom.
And finally, the only mare in the race, this is Follow Suit, a mare by Cody Bear. And top jockey Abdurrahim Jassim takes the ride on horse number 10, Follow Suit. Abdurrahim leading the Jockeys Championship at the moment. And he's been partnering this horse this season. Comes here off the back of a good 3rd place back at the end of December. Follow Suit then is horse number 10 for Abdullah Kuwaiti. Well, some fantastic drone footage we're getting from our camera guys this afternoon. But the horses making their way down to the start, and we're going to grab a quick word with Taj Paul, who's the Managing Director of Huntsman. Taj, great to have you out here again. And why Huntsman is an important region for you and the tailors?
Kingdom of Bahrain's always been superb and welcoming to us, and we've come back for the second year now. The Bahrain Turf Club was really good in terms of upping the rating of the horse race for us. So last year we were 0 to 80 grade, and now we're 0 to 95, which is superb. And we've just got a lovely client base here, and it's such a warm welcome when we come back to the Kingdom of Bahrain.
And you're here quite regularly. I mean, not just for today's meeting where you guys are sponsors, but you're often here.
No, we're here 3 times a year. We return back in March. It's just a circuit that we tend to do through the GCC, and Bahrain is always part of that.
Tell us a little bit about the company, the brand, because people are familiar perhaps in the UK with Huntsman, or they're very much familiar with Savile Row Tailors. And how old is Huntsman?
Huntsman actually celebrates an anniversary of 175 years this year, and I think the big part for us is if no one knows Huntsman, they know the film Kingsman, so it's kind of like the perfect entry to understand who we are, and we're notoriously known for being the finest tailor in the world.
Well, thank you very much for being here and being part of the Bahrain Turf Series, and you're on presentation duties. Who are you thinking you're going to be handing the trophy to?
I think it's going to be Mr. McCann today.
Mr. McCann then for Taj. And good luck though to all the horses then. We've got our 9 runners in this, the Huntsman Cup, over a mile, 1,600 metres. It could be a pretty fast run race. A number of front runners in this one. Taj likes number 3, Mr. McCann. But the Sir Winston is also one to fear for George Baker, international trainer who's enjoyed a lot of success here in the past few years.
دفعة أولى 5 الأوائل. هذا
Runners now are going into the starting stalls for the 3rd race, the Huntsman Cup. So Winston goes in. Goumet now joins the lineup. Goumet, Neil Callan's mount. Grigadale for Al Mahmadiya Racing has the yellow cap. 3 runners representing Al Mahmadiya Racing here. Bleak is loaded. Meta Horse going in. Mr. McCann still out of line, so to Wowzers. Follow suit is another one to move into place at the mile start, 1,600 then. Mr. McCann, Gerald Mossay's mount is loaded. Follow suit, and Abdul Rahim Jassim goes in. Meta Horse just getting a little bit stirred up there in the stalls. They're all in. And they're off. 1600 in front of them, Mr. McCann, Justino. They began well with follow suit right there on the wide outside. Grigordale driving forward. Just off the pace is Meta Horse as they go down the far side. Bleak's getting a position to the inside running rail. They form their early order with Sir Winston watching on at the moment, one of the back markers along with Wowzers. So Gerard Mosse and Mr. McCann instantly overtaken by Grigordale, and it's Grigordale and Mr. McCann 1 and 2 follow suit, and Justino are racing together. They're being chased by Meta Horse in mid-division, followed by Bleak. Sir Winston is to the outside of Goumet, and Wowzers is the back marker. Pace pretty good here, leaving the back straight. Grigordale is the leader by around about 3 lengths, followed by Mr. McCann second place, then follow suit holding third. Meta Horse posted 3 wide. Up along the inside is Justino, who's being followed by Bleak, and then comes Goumet. Sir Winston's second last, and Wowzers is the back marker. They turn in, less than 600 to go, and now Grigordale is under pressure to hold on to the advantage. Mr. McCann now unleashed with a run to the outside. Meta Horse has travelled really strongly into contention. They're inside the final 400, and it is now Meta Horse. Goumet is in the clear. On the wide outside, here comes Sir Winston, who's come from the back end of the field. Further back then to Wowzers. They're inside the final 200. It is Meta Horse, first run in the kingdom from Goumet, second place. Sir Winston is in third. Wowzers is running on. They're not going to get to Meta Horse. Meta Horse the winner. Goumet second. Sir Winston third. Close for fourth place between Wowzers and Bleak, and they were on from Justino. Grigordale, Mr. McCann follows suit the last couple in. So Meta Horse has won it. Number 9 on the card is Sufyan Sadi aboard for Mohammed Hassan. Meta Horse for Al Afu Racing has won on this, his debut in Bahrain. Formerly trained in the UK by Darrell Holland, scored a couple of times in the UK at Thirsk and Chester. Those races were over shorter trips. They were over 1,200 and 1,400 metres. Looks a really nice Bahrain prospect, Meta Horse. Travelled really well coming through into contention, turning into the straight. Meta Horse has quickened away very nicely indeed on this, his Kingdom debut. Gelded son of Havana Grey. So number 9, Meta Horse, the provisional winner of the third race, the Huntsman Cup. The provisional placings for the third race, the Huntsman Cup. First at number 9, second number 1, third number 6, and fourth number 2. That's first at number 9, Meta Horse, second number 1, Goumet, third number 6, Sir Winston, and fourth number 2, Wowzers. The distances there, 1 3/4 lengths and 1 length, 1 3/4 lengths and 1 length, and the time of the winner, 1 minute 35.15. That's 1 minute 35.15.
Well, let's have a few words with winning jockey Sufyan Sadi. This horse making his debut, how much did you like him before the race? What was their expectations amongst the connections?
To be honest, it's the first time I rode on. Even the morning I didn't try to work him. So it was the first time for him and for me together. We did well, so I'm happy.
You certainly did do well. What kind of feel did he give you?
He's traveling well, little bit keen, but I get cover. Then my cover going forward, so I went the serve wave, but with a clear race. And when I come in the end, I was very confident. And when I asked him to go, he gave me a good turn of foot.
He certainly did. Congratulations then to our winning jockey Sufyan Sadi. And nice to see a Havana Grey offspring out here. Their Wonder Stallion doing so well across Europe. And Meta Horse then, one of the first Havana Greys out in Bahrain. And trainer Mohammed Hassan, responsible for Meta Horse in the colours of Al Afu Racing. Well done to horse number 9, Meta Horse, winning the Huntsman Cup.
So please welcome back the winner of the Huntsman Cup this afternoon, owned by Al Afu Racing. That is Meta Horse, Sufyan Sadi riding here for Mohammed Hassan. Meta Horse, first run in the kingdom. It's a winning one, a winning in good style.
Monsieur Sufyan. Comment ça va? Merci.
with that.
And the result is now official. They have weighed in for the third race, the Huntsman Cup. So there's confirmation of the result. First, number 9, Meta Horse. Second, number 1, Goumet. Third, number 6, Sir Winston. And fourth, number 2, Wowzers. Distances of 1 3/4 lengths and 1 length, 1 3/4 lengths and 1 length. Time of the winner, 1 minute 35.15. 1 minute 35.15.
Well, we welcome up onto stage Tajpul, Managing Director of Huntsman, and Krishan Shudasama, Head of the Middle East for Huntsman, To present the trophy then to Connections of Meta Horse. Well done to Ibrahim Alafu receiving the trophy, winning owner. Also Mohammed Hassan, winning trainer, and Sufain Sadi, winning jockey. So Meta Horse, the winner of the Huntsman Cup. It's by a very good horse. It's first run over. Well, an oasis of green amongst the desert, amongst the sand. That is the Rashid Equestrian and Horse Racing Club, an imposing looking grandstand. And the scene is set then for the third fixture as part of the Bahrain Turf Series. Yes, we welcome our viewers from around the world then to the international feed as we build up to the first of two Bahrain Turf Series races this afternoon. Our first race then is the ADIYAT Cup. It is due off at 2:45 local time. And following this is the 18-runner sprint, also part of the Bahrain Turf Series. This, the third fixture as part of the series. 21 international horses flew out from Europe mid-December to spend the winter here, running right through to mid-February. And the man responsible for calling the Bahrain Turf Series home, let's say a very good afternoon to our commentator to talk us through the runners and riders for this ADIYAT Cup. And it's good afternoon to Darren Owen.
Thanks, Ali. Yes, a warm welcome to you all. So we're looking at conditions races for the third leg of the Turf Series, the middle distance race coming up over 1,800 metres, and the sprint today over the 1,000-metre journey. And we're using the inner track for the first time in this Turf Series for 23-24. So let's have a look at the first of our races coming up in the latest round of the Turf Series. This is the ADIYAT Cup, brought to you by National Bank of Bahrain. And it's a small but, I would say, select field coming up here. Horses that are largely in form. Number one is Memento. Memento is partnered by Sufain Sadi, has finished second in its most recent efforts, two of those behind Byline. Probably sick and tired of seeing Byline, but no Byline in the field today. Number two is Cigar Zagato, former King's Cup winner Neil Callan. 3, another horse comes in on the back of a win. That's Man of Eden and Rowan Scott. 4, Sovereign Spirit, another last time out winner. And Stepan Mazur takes the ride on Sovereign Spirit. 5 is The Parent and Gerald Mosse, who won just before Christmas. And a newcomer on the Bahrain scene is number 6, Young Ireland, formerly trained in the Emerald Isle by Jim Bolger. Alberto Sana is aboard here for Jabba, Ramadan and Alafu Racing. 6 runners going to post. 1,800 metres the journey for the Al ADIYAT Cup, brought to you by National Bank of Bahrain. It is the 3rd round of the Turf Series for the middle distance horses. And this race also seen as a bit of a trial as well for the upcoming Crown Prince's Cup. It's a domestic Grade 2.
So a new feature for the club this year, enlarging the lake, the large lake in the middle of the track, adding some fountains. It's a great centerpiece to the race course. And as I said, a bit of an oasis amongst the desert, the green of the grass, the 2 turf tracks here, the training track in the center. As we await for the horses to come down to the parade ring for our first Turf Series race of the afternoon. This for the middle distance horses. The Turf Series 5 fixtures spanning the middle of December through to the middle of February. 5 fixtures, 2 races on each of those fixtures. 1 for the middle distance horses, 1 for the sprint horses. And this is round 3. 6 runners then in this Al ADIYAT Cup. And as Darren said, this also forming as a trial for the Crown Prince's Cup, which takes place in 3 weeks' time. The Crown Prince's Cup, one of the most prestigious amongst the crown jewels of races here in Bahrain for the middle distance horses. And these horses then a conditions race. Some of these the very best trained in Bahrain. All 6 local trained horses. So the horses making their way into the parade ring proper. And you'll see a few of the runners wearing those red hoods. They'll come off at the start. A reasonably good crowd here this afternoon. Plenty of international connections in town for this big fixture. You can see the great drone shots we've got here this afternoon as the grandstand starts to fill up a little bit more now. We're getting into these bigger races. The turf village there on the far side, plenty of entertainment and things to do for the whole family. Dignitaries, guests, race connections and racing fans all here this afternoon. But let's have a look at these 6 runners then for the Al ADIYAT Cup in a little bit more detail. And we'll start with horse number 1. This is Memento. This is one of 4 runners in the race who'll be carrying the colours of Alafu Racing. We just saw him take the Huntsman Cup, Ibrahim Alafu. He's got 4 in this race, and this is Memento, who'll be ridden by Soufiane Saadi, who we saw winning the previous race. Mohammed Hassan again winning trainer from the previous race. Memento, he's been second 4 times this season, super consistent, running in these local grade 1s and grade 2s. So he's been running in all the top races. He's rated 100. And he comes here with every chance. Memento, that is the son of Memas, horse number 1, Memento.
Moving on to number 2, Zagato. Zagato needs no introduction on the Bahrain scene, and it comes here in form, having beaten Chronograph in a domestic grade 2. That was a couple of weeks ago. Before that, it finished second in a grade 1 behind Tawarek. Zagato, partnered by Neil Callan, has won over 2,400 metres here then recently, and won the King's Cup back in 2022. Number 2, Zagato.
Yeah, great to see Zagato back to top form when we last saw him just a couple of weeks ago. Moving on then, this is Man of Eden, horse number 3. Man of Eden comes here off the back of victory just last week. Man of Eden making his debut that day, was formerly a winner for Roger and Harry Charlton on the all-weather back in the UK before transferring to the Al Afu Racing stable. Rowan Scott takes the ride on this one for Jabba Ramadan. That is horse number 3, Man of Eden.
Moving on to number 4, this is a stable companion of Man of Eden. This is Sovereign Spirit, and Stepan Mazur takes the ride aboard Sovereign Spirit. Ran last week, and that was a winning run over 2,200 metres. That was Sovereign Spirit's first run here in Bahrain. Won a couple of times over 2,400 in Great Britain on the all-weather and indeed on the turf for Andrew Balding. That's number 4, Sovereign Spirit.
Another horse coming here off the back of a win is horse number 5, The Parent, in the colours of Al ADIYAT Racing. Gerard Mosse takes the ride for trainer Alan Smith, a horse that had a win 3 weeks ago, beating Royal Scimitar over this distance. And he's a horse that was a 280,000 guinea yearling. Went to Richard Hannon, lightly raced, but has won here twice. The Parent is horse number 5.
Number 6 is a Bahrain debutant. This is Young Ireland. Alberto Sanna takes the ride aboard Young Ireland for Jabba Ramadan and Alafu Racing, so they're well represented in this race. Young Ireland was formerly trained in Ireland by Jim Bolger and won a maiden race there back in May. Has run over longer trips, has been placed in listed company. This is Young Ireland's first start since September. Number 6, Young Ireland.
Our news of the best turned out in this race. The groom responsible receiving 50 BD, and that goes to horse number 4, Sovereign Spirit. So well done to the groom then responsible for the horse deemed the best turned out. That is horse number 4, Sovereign Spirit. And Sovereign Spirit, part of the Jabba Ramadan stable, as we can see him giving instructions to his jockeys. The bell has gone for the jockeys to mount for this Al ADIYAT Cup. They'll be making their way out onto the track. The start halfway down towards the bottom turn, the 1,800 meter start.
For printing, maybe no good.
3 jockeys in the race, then receiving instructions from trainer Jabba Ramadan. And just as we're waiting then for the horses to head down, I'm going to grab a few words with Ibrahim Al Afu, who is responsible. Well, you got 4 in this race, Ibrahim. Nice to see you having so many runners, particularly in these big races this season.
Yeah, it's nice to have some race horses to actually get in, and hopefully, you know, they do what they do.
And of the four then, who do you rate as the best?
No comment.
Quick to run off there. Ibrahim Alafir, as I said, he's been a busy man over the summer, restocking his stable, and he's responsible for the winner of the last race, and he's got 4 in this one. Memento, according to the international market, would be his best chance. He's around second favourite. Soufiane Saidi takes the ride on Memento for trainer Mohammed Hassan. So winning connections from our previous race. But the one they've got to beat is horse number 2, Zagato. This son of Frankel has been a prolific winner out here. He won the King's Cup in 2022. He was second in the Bahrain Gold Cup last season. And nice to see him back to his best when we saw him just a couple of weeks ago winning under Jason Watson, winning that domestic Grade 2. Down in distance this afternoon, down to the 1,800 metres. Saw him last time out over the 2,400 metre, but he's pretty flexible in terms of his trip. Zagato, Neil Callan takes the ride, and some great footage showing the expanse of the grass tracks here, the 2 turf tracks, and the training track on the inside as they make their way down to the 1,800 metre start. So if you are just joining us, we are building up then to the first of 2 Bahrain Turf Series races we've got here this afternoon. This is the ADIYAT Cup. It is for the middle distance horses, and it is also a Crown Prince's Cup trial. So 6 runners, and some of these the best locally trained horses in Bahrain. And they feature the favourite then, Zagato, who was the 2022 King's Cup winner. He's been a prolific winner since coming out here, this son of Frankel. Neil Callan takes the ride on Zagato. Neil Callan's been based in Bahrain for the last 2 seasons, and he returned from injury this week back in the UK at Southall, made a winning return there. And he's already been on the winner's rostrum here this afternoon, winning our opening race for Arabian horses. So Neil Callan then back on board Zagato in the colours of Al Mohammadiya Racing. Familiar colours, not just here, but also in the UK. You can see him circling down at the start. He's the favourite according to the international market, and other ones to watch out for then in the Alafu Racing colours is horse number 1, Memento. Soufiane Saidi takes the ride on horse number 1, Memento, for Mohammed Hassan. He's been running over the mile, so stepping up in distance today, Memento. He's been consistent though, finishing in second. He's finished second 4 times this season. Last seen in a domestic Grade 2 behind Byline. Really ran a good race that time. Byline just beating him by a neck. And Byline's been a prolific winner this season. So Memento, the son of Memas, in the colours of Alafu Racing, one to watch. And then a number of the other ones relatively lightly raced in Bahrain. Man of Eden, Sovereign Spirit, Young Island, all in the Alafu Racing colours. And of those, Man of Eden, Rowan Scott, riding for Jabba Ramadan. Ought to mention also the parent for Gerard Mosse, riding for Alan Smith in the Al ADIYAT colours. He's an ex-Richard Hannon runner, relatively lightly raced this one. Cost a fair bit as a yearling. 280,000 guineas as a yearling went to Richard Hannon. Was a winner for Richard Hannon, and he's come out here. He's had 4 starts and he's won 2 of them. The parent also a son of Frankel. Gerard Mosse sitting second in the jockeys table, behind local jockey Abdurrahim Jassim. Nice to see the ARC winning jockey though here, based here for the season. So we have hit post time. They should be starting the loading process soon. Just the 6 runners in this Al Adiyat Cup. The international favourite, horse number 2, Zagato, the King's Cup winner in 2022. And returned last month, just a couple of weeks ago. Made a winning return under Jason Watson, but down in trip today. Today an important race, not just part of the Bahrain Turf Series. This race worth $80,000 US, but also for these locally trained horses. This, a Crown Prince's Cup trial. The big day, the Crown Prince's Cup is in 3 weeks' time, 2nd of February. So this is a key trial for the Crown Prince's Cup, which has run over 2,000 metres. And Zagato, the King's Cup winner in 2022, that race run over 2,400.
من يدخل الحصان ركاب ورا الركاب رجوله. هدي الحصان شوي.
The runners are now going into the starting stalls for the Al Adiyat Cup, brought to you by National Bank of Bahrain. So this is leg 3 of the Turf Series. Zagato going forward now. Next one to load is Man of Eden. So half the field in place. The Parent and Young Ireland moving into position, and that will just leave Memento to go. So Memento to complete the lineup. Memento going in. So 1,800 metres. Leg 3 of the Turf Series. And they're off. And away smartly was a Sovereign Spirit, and right there the Parent between horses. Zagato with the white sleeves, white cap is handy. Memento right around them as they go into the first turn, and it's Gerard Mosse aboard the Parent who takes them along. Leads now by almost 2 lengths to Memento sitting in second. Sovereign Spirit, Zagato, they follow. Man of Eden has settled down in 5th place, and Young Ireland on this, his Bahrain debut, is at the back. They move on down the far side, and it is the Parent who dictates the early fractions. The Parent being followed by Memento, sits the outside of Sovereign Spirit. They're tracked by Zagato. Man of Eden and Rowan Scott second last. Young Ireland, Alberto Sanna in last place with about 1,000 metres to go. They're on the run away from the back, and the Parent is the leader. A little loose on the lead. It is the Parent by around about 5 lengths. Close call for second place, with Memento sitting to the outside of Sovereign Spirit, then Zagato, and the last 2 are Man of Eden and Young Ireland preparing to turn in. 600 to go. The Parent still in front. The Parent from Sovereign Spirit. The leading margin is about 4 lengths. Memento is coming under a ride. Zagato being asked to quicken up by Neil Callan as they dash down towards the last 400, and the Parent is trying to get away from Zagato. Here comes Zagato down the outside and pounces on the Parent. In behind those 2, Sovereign Spirit, Man of Eden, heading down towards the last 200 metres, and Zagato is going clear with every step. Zagato now goes several lengths clear. The Parent can't go with Zagato. Sovereign Spirit's now moving into second position. It's all about the former King's Cup hero, Zagato. Zagato wins comfortably. Sovereign Spirit second. The Parent is in third, and they were followed home by Man of Eden, Young Ireland, and the disappointment of the race, Memento. So Zagato has won really well here. This son of Frankel, no stranger to the Bahrain scene. Number 2, Zagato, Neil Callan and Fauzi Nass have struck for the second time this afternoon. And this horse in good form, having won a couple of weeks ago over 2,400 metres. But he's quickened up very nicely down the outer, as we were saying before, and a former King's Cup winner. Zagato has got the job done very nicely. Sovereign Spirit, number 4, the provisional second placed effort. Good effort from Sovereign Spirit, and the parent who was loose on the lead in the first half of the race, the parent dropping to third position. So the provisional winner of the Al ADIYAT Cup, brought to you by National Bank of Bahrain, is number 2, Zagato for Al Mohammadiya Racing, Fawzi Nas and Neil Callan.
Well, let's have a word with winning jockey Neil Callan. Neil, this horse has given you some good days over the years. How did he feel this afternoon?
Yeah, he felt somewhere near back to his best. Probably over in an accurate trip, a little bit on the sharp side for him. He kind of lost his way a little bit towards the end of last season. It's taken him a while to come back, but you know, he's I think with the half blinker on him, it's just maybe he's just getting a little bit lazy. I don't know, but it's backed him back into life, and I kind of knew. If it was 2000, I'd have waited longer, but because it was 1800, I just wanted to have his revs up. But when I asked him, he was quite electric, and probably went a little bit too far. But I think going forward, he's going back into those big races anyway, so I don't think it really matters.
It's exciting that he's coming back into form at this time of year, and as you said, this trip was a bit short for him, but were you surprised by the turn of foot he showed?
No, but you know, to be fair, he's always had a very good turn of foot, and I suppose with those races in the races last season that he was in, they became tactical. Today, I think Alan Smithhurst, they went a right gallop, you know, and it really, I think that's when he comes into his own, when they're going a real good pick and everybody's chasing, he's just sitting there in third gear. So look, he was a very good animal before he came here, and he's just showing his class. But when I was winning on him here last year, I was thinking he was the best horse here over anything from 2000 upwards. So I still hold that in regard. So yeah.
The best horse here. Congratulations then to Connections to Zagato. You're not bad yourself, Neil. Best jockey, I'd say. Certainly nice to see him back in the winner's enclosure then. Neil Callan on board Zagato, who's given him some great days over the years. Won the King's Cup in 2022. And this afternoon winning the Crown Princess Cup trial for the local horses, but this also part of the Bahrain Turf Series then, the winner of the Al ADIYAT Cup, Zagato, in the colours of Al Mohammadiya Racing for trainer Fawzi Nas.
The provisional placings for the Al ADIYAT Cup, our fourth race today. First number 2, second number 4, third number 5 and fourth number 3. That's first number 2 Zagato, second number 4 Sovereign Spirit, third number 5 The Parent, and fourth number 3 Man of Eden. The distance is 4 3/4 lengths and 1.5 lengths. That's 4 3/4 lengths and 1.5 lengths. And the official time of the winning horse, 1 minute 49.03. 1 minute 49.03. So put your hands together, please welcome back the winner of the Al ADIYAT Cup, a son of Frankel, a horse in good form. That's 2 wins on the bounce now for Zagato, owned by Al Mohammadiya Racing, trained by Fawzi Nas and partnered by Neil Callan.
يلا شباب يلا
Well, let's have a word with winning trainer Fawzi Nas. Fawzi, how much satisfaction is it seeing this horse back to his best?
That was very satisfying, for sure. Obviously, he's back to his class since the last race he's run, and it was good to see him clear the field as he did today.
I was going to say, not just winning it, he really stamped his authority on the race, certainly.
Absolutely. He's probably our only hope for the Crown Prince Cup and the King's Cup coming up. So it was good to see some class in him.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'll take
Thank you.
You waited.
And the result for the fourth race is now official. Weighed in, weighed in. So just confirming the result of the Al ADIYAT Cup. First, number 2, Zagato. Second, number 4, Sovereign Spirit. Third, number 5, The Parent. And fourth, number 3, Man of Eden. The distances 4 3/4 lengths and 1.5 lengths. 4 3/4 lengths and 1.5 lengths. Time of the winner, 1 minute 49.03. 1 minute 49.03.
So we are now coming towards our trophy presentation for this, the Al ADIYAT Cup. It is presented by the National Bank of Bahrain. And I'd like to welcome up then Usman Ahmed, Group CEO from the National Bank of Bahrain, to present the prize for this Bahrain Turf Series race for the middle distance horses. And it was a win for Zagato. Congratulations to the winning connections of Zagato in the Al Mohammedia racing colours. We welcome up His Highness Sheikh Sultan Al Din bin Mohammed bin Salman Al Khalifa, alongside his brothers, His Highness Sheikh Nada, His Highness Sheikh Ali, winning jockey Neil Callan, winning trainer Fawzi Nas. It was a win for Zagato, winning the Al ADIYAT Cup by the National Bank of Bahrain. So thank you then to the Winning Connections receiving the trophy there from our sponsor, the National Bank of Bahrain. The horses then are in the parade ring for our second Bahrain Turf Series race. This one is for the sprinters. Maximum field of 18 runners will be lining up for this race over the straight 1,000 meters, the 5 furlongs. So let's get the runners and riders then for the WASMIYA Cup presented by Al Salam Bank.
Thanks, Ali. Number 1 is Aman and Abdullah. Rahim Jassim takes the ride. 2, Anthem National, Andrew Elliott. 3, Brazen Bolt, Alberto Sana. 4, Derrin, already a Turf Series winner, as Stepan Mazur. Number 5, Edward Cornelius, Neil Callan. Number 6 is Fighter Pilot and Adam Al-Balushi. 7, Four-Wheel Drive, Edinson Rodriguez. 8, Get It, John Egan. 9, Ibn Arabi, Marcial Ashures. 10, Instinctive Move and Cheryl Mosse. 11, JM Jungle, Jason Watson. 12, Maystar and Hussein Asghar. 13 is Nationwide, Stefan Lajage. 14, Powertrain, Mathieu Pelletin. 15, Rebel at Dawn, Lee Newman. 16 is Squealer, Rowan Scott. 17, Anan and Kasim Jamil. And 18 is Ocean Star, partnered by Sufyan Sadi. Full complement of 18 runners going down the straight 1,000 meters for the Al WASMIYA Cup, brought to you by Al Salam Bank.
So we've got a maximum field then for this, our second Bahrain Turf Series race. And 5 international runners amongst the 18. Let's have a look at them in a little bit more detail. This horse number 1 then, Aman. He's been a regular here, is his 4th season here in Bahrain. Been mostly running over the 1,200 to a mile. But he won a grade 2 over 1,200 meters on the International Trophy Day back in the middle of November. That is horse number 1, Aman, who'll be ridden by Abdurrahim Jassim in the colours of Mohammed Jassim Jafar. That is horse number 1, Aman.
Number 2, one of the internationals here, trained by Phil Kirby, who's actually got a run over jumps today at Sedgefield, the northeast of England. Anthem National, Andrew Elliott is aboard. 2 credible efforts so far in this Turf Series, finishing 5th, drawn on the wrong side of the track on that occasion over 1,000 metres, and over the 1,200, finishing 3rd behind Rocket Rodney. There is perhaps a question mark over the trip being on the sharp side. This horse was listed place in the summer. Anthem National, number 2.
Following him then, that is horse number 3, Brazen Bolt, another international trained, and one of 2 in the race for John Quinn. Alberta Sana takes the ride on this horse, who again is a horse that's been really knocking on the door in the Bahrain Turf Series of sprints so far. Finished 4th over this distance back in mid-December, and runner-up behind Rocket Rodney when we last saw him over the 1,200 meters back 2 weeks ago. So Brazen Bolt looking to go one better in this. He'll be ridden by Alberta Sana.
Number 4 is Derrin, and Stepan Mazur takes the ride. Now, Derrin was mightily impressive here in the first leg of the Turf Series. Remember, today's race, conditions race, that was a handicap over 1,000 metres, but Derrin raced on the near side and won with authority. Quite a wide margin success as sprints go. So Derrin has beaten a number of these horses already this season. Number 4, Derrin.
Horse number 6, this is Fighter Pilot for trainer Yusuf Taha. Adam Al-Balushi takes the ride on this one. And he's back up to his career high rating after winning last month over 1,000 meters over this trip, beating Vanguard Star that day. So Fighter Pilot coming in here off the back of a win. That is horse number 6.
Moving on to number 7, this is Four-Wheel Drive. Would be one of the long shots in this race. Edson Rodriguez rides for Gunners Racing and Alan Smith. This horse was well beaten in the Al Manama Cup. It's on a bit of a losing run. That's Four-Wheel Drive, number 7.
Horse number 9 is Ibn Arabi, a horse that's been running out here for a few seasons now. He won a handicap in November And not a bad effort last time when we saw him over 1,200 metres. This horse trained by Ali Nasser. Michaelis Juras takes the ride on horse number 9, Ibn Arabi.
Number 10 is Instinctive Move. Now, Instinctive Move is threatening. Instinctive Move has already run a creditable 6th in the Turf Series, running on the perhaps on the wrong side of the track on that occasion, behind Dererin. That was last time over 1,000 metres. And then turn the clock back to last season. This horse was a multiple winner. Number 10, Instinctive Move.
Following him then, horse number 11, the second horse to look at, who is trained by John Quinn, JM Jungle. A horse that ran over this distance in the first Turf Series race, was fancied that day, finished 8th. He's a bit of a 5 furlong or 1,000 metre specialist, so should enjoy these conditions today. Good to firm conditions out on that inner track. JM Jungle, a real progressive type. Jason Watson taking the ride on this John Quinn trained horse. That's horse number 11, JM Jungle.
Number 12 is May Star. May Star was last seen in action over a mile in November. That was over 1,600 metres, was well held by Byline on that occasion. A winner here over 1,600 metres in the spring of last year. Trip might just be on the short side. That's number 12, May Star.
Horse number 13 in the colours of Victorious Racing. This is Nationwide. Horse trained by Fauzi Nas. Stefan LeJudge takes the ride on this horse. Horse we saw running over the 1,200 metres 2 weeks ago, finishing in 11th down behind Rocket Rodney in that Bahrain Turf Series race. So needs to come on for that. That is horse number 13, Nationwide.
Moving on to number 14, and number 14 is Power Train, unplaced last time. This horse is a winner over this course and distance, so Power Train has been effective over the straight 1,000 metres. That win coming, around about 14 months ago. Number 14, Power Train.
Horse 15 then, this the highest rated horse in the race, Rebel at Dawn. Lee Newman takes the ride for trainer Alan Smith in the Al ADIYAT racing colours. A horse who won his race 2 starts ago over this distance. Enjoys these conditions, his fast 5 furlongs. Rebel at Dawn, he's won 3 starts over the 1,000 metres before having a good 4th when we last saw him over 1,200 metres. So horse 15 then is Rebel at Dawn. 6. So horse number 15 heading down there. Horse 16, the Squealer, went down to post early. There we see him there. That is the Squealer then for Nigel Tinkler, another international trained horse. Rowan Scott takes the ride on this. And a very good second behind Dererin over this course when we last saw him. Well, not when we last saw him, back in mid-December. That was in the Bahrain Turf Series race. He then went into a local race when we last saw him 3 weeks ago. He finished 7th behind Fighter Pilot that day. A real 1,000 metre specialist, the Squealer. Then is horse number 16 for Nigel Tinkler and Rowan Scott.
And there is number 5 going down to the start. This is Edward Cornelius. Not without a chance, Edward Cornelius. Edward Cornelius was over 7 lengths behind Rocket Rodney in the latest Turf Series race here a couple of weeks ago. That was a fair effort from Edward Cornelius that day. A winner at Hamilton Park back in June. Number 5, Edward Cornelius.
Horse number 17 then in the Al Afu racing colours, that is Anan, a horse who's trained by Mohammed Hassan. Qasim Jamil takes the ride on Anan, a horse that improved to win his last start just 7 days ago, back on the 5th of January. That was over the 1,000 metres. A good run, that one, coming in this race off that victory. So in fine form, but this certainly a step up in class. That is horse number 17, Anan.
Number 8 down at the start, or about to go down to the start, is Get It for the stable of George Baker. They had a real good time here a few weeks ago with Lucanda. John Egan takes the ride aboard Get It, who was 9th, I suppose well held last time. Get It. This horse was a winner at Wolverhampton on the all-weather over 1,200 metres back in September. Number 8, Get It.
As they head down to the start then, the straight 1,000 metres, we're using the inner track here this afternoon, one of 2 turf courses, with the training track also, the all-weather training track on the inside. As we look for horse number 18, Ocean Star, that's the one we haven't seen. It's one of 2 fillies in the race. Ocean Star being a prolific winner for Connections. She's won 18 times as ex-Archie Watson trained mare. We'll try and get a glimpse of her before the start. Had a maximum field of 18 then for this Bahrain Turf Series race. And a number of these we saw running over the 1,000 metres at the first Turf Series fixture. That was back in the middle of December. That's horse number 10. Instinctive Move, the mount of Gerard Mosse. And just as they're heading down to the start, I'm going to grab a few words with trainer Phil Kirby, who's responsible for Anthem National. He was 5th when we last saw him over this distance, but a good 3rd win, stepping up to the 6 furlong, the 1,200 metres. How do you rate his chances today?
I think we've got a better draw than we've had the last twice. I think probably 6 would be better for him than 5, but he's in good order and we'll take our chance and see how we get on.
Different track this one though, but it's the outer track. There was definitely a sort of favouring the stand side, the higher draw, but he seems to really have taken to conditions and enjoying a bit of sun on his back.
Yeah, he's loving it here and he's actually getting fresher and sharper every day, so hopefully he's getting sharper in his race, but he just needs to be a bit quicker away, and things happened a bit quick for him last time, but hopefully he'll be a bit quicker today. And
you're enjoying your time, a bit of sun on the back. You're coming out here regular for these big races?
Yeah, it's great. I love it. It's nice to have a bit of sun. It's freezing at home, so it's good to come in, hopefully have a few chances. It's great.
So you've chosen Bahrain over Sedgefield. You've got a few jumpers there this afternoon?
Just one, but it's not running now, so we're okay.
Right, there we are then. Well, good luck with Anthem National. That is Phil Kirby, who's responsible for he's the international market leader, Anthem National. A horse, so though, could be more suited to these 1,200 metres, the 6 furlongs. And there is Ocean Star, the one we were hoping to get a glimpse of before the race, because she's got every chance, actually. She, as I said, a 12-time winner, and has gone up £29 than her lowest mark in Bahrain. She's done most of her wins over the 1,200 metres, but has also won over 1,000 metres. That was back in April. Soufiane Saidi takes the ride on this Mohammed Hassan trained mare in the colours of Al Afu Racing. So 18 runners. They'll be spread across the track. And they're using the inner track for the first time as part of the Bahrain Turf Series. It was used at the beginning of the season, back in the beginning of November, and then it's been rested since then. They returned to the track last week and back on it today. So the ones to look out for then, the speedy 5 furlong specialists, the likes of the Squealer, JM Jungle's a speedy type, and we mustn't also rule out the winner of our first Bahrain Turf Series sprint, Darren, in the colours of Onyx Racing. Jabba Ramadan trains this one. Was a full-length winner, beating Squealer back on the 8th of December. From that race, 10 of them are lining up again today, including 5 of the top 6. So Darren was the full-length winner over the Squealer that day. Anthem National finished in 5th. Brazen Bolt ran really well, 4th. And also, really shouldn't rule out Get It, who was victorious in this race 12 months ago for trainer George Baker. John Egan taking the ride for the first time on Get It. And this race could really be influential in terms of the points for the sprinters in the Bahrain Turf Series. Each race they're getting 15 points for a win. And Rocket Rodney at the moment is the leader of this pot. There's bonuses at the end of the season. Each Bahrain Turf Series race is worth $80,000 and then there's bonuses at the end of the season for the winning sprinter and the winning middle distance. And in the absence of the leader of the sprinters, Rocket Rodney, who's not running today, it's a chance for Darien, Brazenbolt, the Squealer and Anthem National could all go top of that group, top of that pot if they are victorious here this afternoon. Darien and Brazenbolt at the moment are in second behind Rocket Rodney in the overall rankings for the Bahrain Turf Series Sprint Division. So plenty on the line here this afternoon. And it's a conditions race, this, rather than a handicap, which the Al Manama Cup was when we last saw a number of these horses running over this distance. This race now past post time, so they should be starting the loading process shortly. As Neil Callan back in Bahrain, already had 2 winners today. He's on board Edward Cornelius for trainer Fauzi Nas in the familiar colours of Al Mohammedia Racing. They just won the first Bahrain Turf Series race with Zagato, so looking for a quick double. Edward Cornelius was in training with Keith Dalgleish in the UK and has been running in the Bahrain Turf Series sprint races. Finished 7th last time behind Rocket Rodney, down the field against Darien. But a talented horse on his day. There's Anthem National, the market leader in terms of the international. Anthem National for trainer Phil Kirby. Andrew Elliott takes the ride on this horse again. He's ridden him in the first 2 Bahrain Turf Series races for the sprinters. A former horse trained by Joseph O'Brien, sold in the Tattersalls July sale. Bought specifically for coming over and being campaigned here for the winter. And as Phil said, finally got his draw. He's drawn stall number 10, Anthem National. So really in the middle to stand side as they're starting the loading process. So calling them home then for this 2023 running of the Al WASMIYA Cup. This for the sprinters as part of the Bahrain Turf Series. It's Darren Owen.
Thanks, Ali. Yes, so runners then moving up at the 1,000-metre start. So first few have gone in. About to go forward is Rebel at Dawn. Rebel at Dawn about to move into place. Rebel at Dawn drawn in stall number 17. Anan with a black cap, Nationwide over on the far side. For Victorious going forward. Still a few more to go in, as you can see. Probably looking at about 7 or 8 runners still to load. This is Instinctive Move and Gerard Mosse. Run with credit already this Turf Series. Aman, Anthem National, Squealer, they're out of line. So too, Ocean Star, Power Train there with the white cap about to move into place. Power Train drawn in stall 15. So we've got 4 out of line. It looks as though Aman's about to go in as we look down on them. There's a great shot at the start there. So Ocean Star drawn in stall number 1 is to go forward. Also Get It is out of line. Get It is drawn in stall 18. Ocean Star is to come out of 1. for this, the WASMIYA Cup. Leg 3 of the turf series for the sprinters. Get It going into stall 18. All in, a few of them just getting a bit stirred up. And they're off. And Anand reared at the wrong time, missed it by several lengths. Brazen Bolt and Ocean Star well into stride with Squealer and Derra in there racing on the far side. Four-wheel drive dashing along, followed by Instinctive Move, JM Jungle, then Fighter Pilot, Power Train. Further back to Rebel at Dawn, Edward Cornelius. Anthem Nationals racing down the centre is outpaced and is racing alongside Aman. And as they head down towards the final 400 metres on the near side, Get It's trying to get into it. The leader on the far side is Brazen Bolt from Squealer. It's Brazen Bolt by several lengths. Squealer on the far side, second place. JM Jungle, Brazen Bolt, stable companion. Lime Green Jacket, Instinctive Move, Rebel at Dawn. Then Fighter Pilot. Get It is also beginning to rock and roll. It's Brazen Bolt over on the far side from Squealer and JM Jungle. Sticking to that far running rail is Brazen Bolt, who's got a good length on them. Brazen Bolt has won it. Squealer second place, Ocean Star, Nationwide and JM Jungle all involved for places. So it is Brazen Bolt. Alberto Sanna has gone on to win. This horse ran a blinder the other week over 1,200 metres behind Rocket Rodney. Only beaten 3/4 the length by Rocket Rodney and showed tremendous pace over the 1,000 metres. His stable companion, JM Jungle, has raced near side. Now, it goes to show we've been focusing our attention on horses drawn to the near side on the outer track. But here we are on the inner track. We've got Brazen Bolt coming out of a single-figure digit draw, stall number 5. Got that far running rail to run against. And, well, has burnt them all off. There were quite a few finishing with purpose, as you saw. Squealer's run a good race over on the far side. Ocean Star has run on really strongly as well. That one coming out of stall number 1. But Brazen Bolt, number 3 in the card, has won the WASMIYA Cup for Fish Lake Commercial Motors Limited, Alberto Sanna, and the Malton-based John Quinn. Coming out of the North Yorkshire yard of John Quinn. Brazen Bolt and the stable companions run a blinder as well. JM Jungle will get the placed horses confirmed shortly, but no doubt about the winner. That is number 3, Brazen Bolt. As we just watched the closing stages here, Squealer for Nigel Tinkler right over on the far side, run a blinder. JM Jungle near side. Nationwide, Ocean Star, they were over on that far running rail, coming on really well, but it is Brazen Bolt who has won. A Squealer has got second. It's a close call for third position. But all I can tell you and confirm is that North Yorkshire trainers are responsible for the first 2 horses home.
Well, let's have a word with winning jockey then, Alberto Sanna. Second time I've spoken to you today. It's turning out to be a very good day. Nice to get a ride on this horse and a decisive move to get on the rail there.
Well, I was drawing 5 and the opposite rail was too far away, so I spoke with the trainer and he agreed with me to go on the rail, on the near side rail. The horse, he was extremely well, and I have to thank you, the connection, to give me a chance to ride this magnificent horse, and easy ride, beautiful.
Very easy ride, it turned out in the end. I mean, as I said, you got on that rail and nothing could stay with you. What kind of feel did he give you?
Well, I have to dig in along a bit earlier than what I was expecting, because probably on the near side the track is not fast as the far side, and so I was facing with some even stumbling sometimes, but still it's tough horse, you know. He keep going, and when he got the rail, I think it was a plus for him, because normally when I saw his race, he's lying a little bit. Always he tends to lie on the right side, and today on the right side was the rail, so it was a good point for him.
And for you, what does it mean? You've been out here, you've been very successful here in the past, but this is your first victory in the Bahrain Turf Series.
Yeah, it's amazing, because, you know, in Arab countries especially, people, they forget your abilities very, very quickly and very easily. So you have to prove all the time you are in good form, and you try always your best.
Well, you've certainly done your best today. Second victory on the card then for winning jockey Alberto Sana. This one coming on board Brazen Bolt. Victory in the Bahrain Turf Series. He's finished close in the last two races as part of the series. Fourth and second, but gone one better today. It is Brazen Bolt for winning trainer John Quinn and winning jockey Alberto Sana.
And the provisional placings for the Al Wasmiya Cup: first number 3, second number 16, third number 18, and fourth number 13. That's first number 3, Brazen Bolt, second number 16, Squealer, third number 18, Ocean Star, fourth was number 13, Nationwide, and fifth number 11, JM Jungle. So please welcome back the winner of the Al Wasmiya Cup, Brazen Bolt's got some valuable points in this turf series. Was second here behind Rocket Rodney, was fourth behind Derrin, and now has taken the top honours for Fish Lake Commercial Motors Limited, trained by John Quinn in Malton, North Yorkshire, and partnered by Alberto Sana. Gave this horse a terrific ride today. Brazen Bolt.
Please.
Well, let's have a word with winning trainer then, John Quinn. This horse has been knocking on the door, as we've been saying, in the Turf Series races so far. What did you expect from today? And I'm sure you didn't expect him to win by that margin anyway.
Well, we were very pleased with him since he came out here. He'd been running better and better. And the last day, the horse that beat him had some top-class form in England as a 2-year-old. So we thought probably we ran into a very decent 3-year-old, you know. Since he ran the last day, he'd been training nicely. We were happy with him. Obviously, his best form's over 6, but he's never been slow, and he loves top of the ground. So yeah, we're delighted. It's lovely to win here.
Well, for a horse that prefers 6, he certainly showed some pace out of the gate.
Yes, he did.
And how good was Alberto Sana?
Oh, very good. And I mean, he's tactically, when I spoke to him before the race, he'd done his homework, which is always reassuring.
And JM Jungle ran a good race as well.
He ran a good race. I mean, he was drawn a bit in the middle, and he was a little bit lonely, but he came home well, and I was very pleased with him.
And for this one then, we'll be looking ahead to the remaining couple of Turf Series races. He's flexible in terms of his trip.
Yeah, there's a race here on the 2nd, and we'll see. So yeah, and he seems to enjoy the sun and the fast ground. So.
And nice to have the owners here as well.
It's very important. Peter, who owns him, bred him as well, which is wonderful.
Because how long has this been the plan for him, and why did you think conditions would suit?
The Bahrain have made it very appealing for people to bring horses here. Great prize money, and this is the first time I've been here. But watching on television, we thought if we had the suitable ones, we'd come. My son Sean, who's my assistant, does a lot of the form with me, and we thought that JM Jungle and Brazen Bolt would be a good fit for Bahrain this winter.
I think you proved, well, he's proved you right, given their results over the last few weeks, but particularly today. Well done.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And the result is now official. They have weighed in. The result's official. They have weighed in. And the result, first number 3, Brazen Bolt. Second number 16, Squealer. Third number 18, Ocean Star. And fourth number 13, Nationwide. The fifth horse home was number 11, JM Jungle. The distances 1 length and 3/4 of a length. That's 1 length and 3/4 of a length. And the official time of the winning horse, 57.62. 57.62. The result's now official. Weighed in, weighed in.
So we come to the trophy presentation for this Al WASMIYA Cup, presented by Al SALAM Bank, and presenting the trophy then on behalf representatives of the Al SALAM Bank. We have Ali Habib Kazim and Karim Turk, who will be presenting the trophies then. We're grateful to our sponsors, Al SALAM Bank, for their continued support. The Al WASMIYA Cup, the third leg as part of the Bahrain Turf Series. For the sprinters, Brazen Bolts, he's been in the places every time, but he's gone one better today, having finished runner-up 2 weeks ago over 6 furlongs. It's dropped down to 1,000 meters, has resulted in victory. So, Ali Habib Kassem and Karim Turk, representatives of Al SALAM Bank, making the trophy presentation. As we welcome up winning trainer John Quinn. And nice to see winning owners, Peter Furr and Peter Cam here. Peter Furr also bred Brazen Bolt, so winning breeder and winning owner. And we also welcome up our winning jockey, Alberta Sanna. So victory then goes to the international trainer John Quinn, victory to Yorkshire. Well then, 2 connections then. Brazen Bolt, the winner of the Al WASMIYA Cup by Al SALAM Bank. Well, time for a little bit more reflection on Brazen Bolt's victory with not just owner but breeder Peter Furr. How much satisfaction does that give you? Victory here, but a horse that you bred.
Well, I'm going to have to say one of the best days of my life. It's just fantastic to come home over here, and the people have been so good and nice to us and everything, and it's the future, Bahrain. It was just brilliant. It's just been fantastic, yes.
How many horses do you have in training, or how many do you breed?
We've got 2 horses in training and one that we've just bred off the same mare, a Golden Horn. So we're hoping for the future for him, and he'll go to John's, the same trainer. So yes, it's very good for us at the moment.
Well, you seem to have obviously got the magic touch with just 2 horses in training, one coming out here and doing so well. How long has this been in the plan then for Brazen Bolt?
Not long, only a few months, where John phoned me up and said, let's take him to Bahrain, because he loves the ground. He absolutely loves the hard ground, yeah. So it's not long, and I mean, John's just been fantastic with us, so it's been very good, yeah.
You obviously were fully behind the plan. Have you enjoyed your trip out here? 3
times now. I come every time he's run, and I've supported him, and he ran a second, and then really, he's run over 7 furlongs, and then I kept saying to John, he's a 5 furlong, 6 furlong. Then we tried him over 6, and he ran a second here over 6. So, what can I say? I'm a bit emotional, actually. It's been so good. It really has.
Well, a hugely adaptable horse, running over 7 furlongs, 6 furlongs, and now a winner over 5.
Yeah, great day.
Well,
and thank you.
Well, enjoy the celebrations, and lovely to see you here this afternoon. Well done then to John Foe, who not only just owned the winner Brazen Bolt, but also bred him.
Yes, excellent result there from Brazen Bolt's connections. Big effort with Brazen Bolt this afternoon. A great result for Team Quinn. Now let's move on to the His Highness Sheikh Hamad bin Isa bin Salman Al Khalifa Cup. It's over 2,800 metres. We've got a distance race coming up, and this is the field. We've got a field of imported thoroughbreds. Vega Sicilia is number 1, Martial Juras. 2, Brave the Storm and Stepan Mazur. 3, Knight of Honour, Neil Callan. 4, Port Douglas, Andrew Elliott. 5, King of the Throne, Sufyan Sadi. And number 6 is Wild Hero, Hussein Maki. So we're going from one extreme to the other, from the sprinters to the distance horses. But, well, John Quinn's got the Midas touch for the sprinters, Ali. Highfield Princess, of course, being the headline horse. And now Brazen Bolt here today. And, well, Sean Quinn, John's son, his assistant, told me that Brazen Bolt would win 2 weeks ago. Wasn't far out.
So let's have a look at these horses. That is Vega Sicilia, who's going to be going down to the start early under jockey Marcela Juras in the Al Mohammedia racing colours. Fauzi Nas trains this, Vega Sicilia, who was solid in Britain for Roger and Harry Charlton. Hasn't perhaps shown his best in Bahrain yet, but comes here then at around about 3-1 in the international market. That is horse number 1, Vega Sicilia.
Number 2, Brave the Storm. Stepan Mazur aboard for Jabba Ramadan, and Brave the Storm comes into this on the back of a success. Having a pretty good season so far, and was a winner last time, winning by half a length. That was a few weeks ago in mid-December. That was over 2,000 metres, up to 2,800 here. That's Brave the Storm.
Horse number 3 then is Knight of Honour. This son of decorated knight will be ridden by Neil Callan for Ali Abdul Majid, a horse that was based out here last season when trained by Richard Fahy, and he won a local race last year. He's had 2 consistent runs this season. Finished 3rd when we last saw him back on the 23rd of December. So he comes here with every chance in the colours of Al Mohammedia Racing. Number 3 is Knight of Honour.
Moving on to number 4, this is Port Douglas. Port Douglas partnered by Andrew Elliott. Be one of the, on the international markets, one of the long shots in this race. Port Douglas was well beaten here a few weeks ago, over 2,200 metres. But good effort behind Glenn Savage in early December, over 2,004. That's Port Douglas.
In the Al Afu colours, at horse number 5 is King of Throne. Sufyan Sadi takes the ride from Mohammed Hassan. And King of Throne's last win came back in March 2022. He's been dropping down the ratings a little bit since then. A big rangy chestnut. That is horse number 5, King of Throne.
And number 6 out on the track and about to canter to the start is Wild Hero, winner of 1 race. Good effort last time. That was a few weeks ago, 2,400 metres, was actually just in front of Knight of Honor. And that was in the race won by Al Wasmi. Al Wasmi won on that occasion. That was on the 23rd of December. This horse was second and was just in front of one of today's rivals, Knight of Honor, that day. That's Wild Hero.
So the 6 runners heading to post this trip over the 2,800 metres. So they'll be starting down, well, pretty much where the 1,000 metre start was in our last race, but got to complete a full lap after that. And some wonderful drone shots we've got this afternoon as we see the horses. Then our final horse, that is Wild Hero, cantering down to start under Hussein Maki. All these horses then stepping up in trip for this race. This is our 6th race of 8 this afternoon. A key day here, not just 2 Bahrain Turf Series races, but also a number of trials for the Crown Prince's Cup Day in 3 weeks' time. We saw the trial for the Arabians. That was our first race. We saw a Bahrain Oaks trial. And our race after this, race 7, will be a trial for the local horses. Some of the best locally bred thoroughbreds will be lining up a little later this afternoon. But our focus, though, is on our 6th race. This is was due off a couple of minutes ago, so no doubt they'll be starting the loading process pretty soon. And as they circle down, gather down at the start, it'll be Darren, who you'll be hearing from next.
Thanks, Ali. Yes, the horses down at the start. They'll be going in shortly. So they start this race basically by the home turn here. So they've got a fraction over 600 metres before they get to the winning post, go into that first bend and then complete a circuit of the course for its distance race. 2,800 metres the total distance for the H.H.SH.ISA Sheikh Hamad bin Isa bin Salman Al Khalifa Cup. Horse is rated 0 to 85. Vegas Sicilia there with the red cap going in. So Port Douglas and Brave the Storm. There is Brave the Storm. So Port Douglas and Wild Hero, the 2 remaining out of line. This is Wild Hero, last one to go in, race 6. All in, and they're racing. First out is Port Douglas, breaks the line ahead of Knight of Honor, and right there is King of the Throne. Just been bustled along to get a prominent role is Vegas Sicilia to the wide outside. Dropping in behind the front view is Brave the Storm and the back marker Wild Hero. So coming on down the straight first time round, and it is Vegas Sicilia. Bags that running rail, bags the brazen bolt route. So it is Vegas Sicilia in front by about 2 lengths, with King of the Throne in second place. Port Douglas, yellow and blue jacket on the inside. Knight of Honor's just in behind. And then comes Wild Hero, who's pretty keen there in the blue jacket. Brave the Storm, last of all, around about 6 lengths off the pace. Going into that turn to go down the side of the track, and it is Vegas Sicilia who makes it. Leads by around about a length to the parked out King of the Throne. Port Douglas bobbing along up along the inside. Pace pretty steady. Knight of Honor, white cap just in behind the leading few. Wild Hero is following, and off the pace, Brave the Storm. So going down the side of the course towards the final mile of their journey, the last 1,600, and it is Vegas Sicilia in front. King of the Throne is racing wide of that one. Port Douglas and Knight of Honor just in behind, followed by Wild Hero and Brave the Storm, the back marker, moving into the back straight, and they have around about 1,400 metres left to go, with Vegas Sicilia continuing to lead. Down the back, Vegas Cecilia, followed by King of the Throne in the black and red jacket. Port Douglas just in behind, followed by Knight of Honor and Neil Callan, with Wild Hero to the inside running rail, getting plenty of cover for Hussein Maki. And last of all, Brave the Storm and Stepan Mazur. So they're almost at the end of the back straight, and it's still Vegas Cecilia bidding to make every yard of it. Vegas Cecilia by about 3/4 of a length. King of the Throne second, Port Douglas third. Knight of Honor and Wild Hero are next, and then Brave the Storm is at the back as they now run inside the last 800 and approach the final bend. Vegas Cecilia is still leading, but only by a neck. King of the Throne second place. Port Douglas is in third. Knight of Honor now being shaken up. No move yet from Wild Hero. There is a move from Brave the Storm on the extreme outside to the right, heading down towards the last 400. Vegas Cecilia being challenged for the lead by King of the Throne. White cap of Knight of Honor wide outside from off the pace. Here's Brave the Storm, who's trying to get organised, heading down towards the last 200. Knight of Honor now the leader. Knight of Honor from King of the Throne over on the rail. Vegas Cecilia. Brave the Storm is trying to get organised, but still about a length and a half down. It is Knight of Honor for Neil Callan treble. Knight of Honor the winner. Brave the Storm second place. Close call for third. King of the Throne, Vegas Cecilia. Further back to Wild Hero and Port Douglas. So it is Knight of Honor who goes on to win. Number 3, Knight of Honor. Knight of Honor, who was fairly close up third last time. He's been running well, actually. He's finished a close up third in its last 2 starts, Knight of Honor. It's one for Al Mohammedia Racing, Ali Abdul Majid and Neil Callan with a treble on his return to the Bahrain circuit this winter. Knight of Honor, the winner, and in a race which was pretty competitive towards the end. Brave the Storm tried to make that effort on the wide outside, but Knight of Honor on top at the finish. Son of decorated Knight of Honor, the 5-year-old. As I say, been running well this season, over 2,400, 2,800. Wasn't a problem for Knight of Honor. And the provisional placings for our 6th race: first number 3, second number 2, third number 5, and fourth number 1. That's first number 3, Knight of Honor, second number 2, Brave the Storm, third number 5, King of the Throne, and fourth number 1, Vegas Cecilia. The distance is 1 length and half a length, 1 length and half a length, and the official time of the winning horse, 3 minutes 01.64. 3 minutes 01.64.
Well, let's grab a word with Neil Callan yet again, a treble-winning jockey, this time on board Knight of Honor, a horse that you rode last year when he was trained by Richard Fahy. What kind of feel did he give you today?
Yeah, he's very straightforward. I thought the inner track would play to his strength, because, for horses stays, he's got a bit of speed. So I think, Richard did the right thing last year. He kind of gave him a run in a local race, try and gain some confidence and see if he go on. But he just kind of got a little bit lost and then was running in some good races. And then, he's just kind of found his level now. So, look, he stays well. As I said, I think the track suits him. So, and he's honest.
You've had you've had some number of nice rides this afternoon. You've been on a lot of the favourites, but always good to get the job done and come away with a treble.
Yeah, it's good to come away with any winner. But, win an international race, the series races, and then, win some of the local races with horses that are hopefully going to come up in the future. So, yeah, it's all good.
Well done then. Well done to our winning jockey, Neil Callan, on board Knight of Honor, this son of decorated Knight, winning the 6th race here this afternoon. This one over 2,800 metres. It is the H.H.SH.ISA bin Salman Al Khalifa Cup, our 6th race on today's card.
So there is a very popular winner with the locals. Number 3, Knight of Honor. Knight of Honor, owned by Al Mohammedia Racing, trained by Ali Abdul Majid. And it's a treble for Neil Callan.
Long day. Thank you. Thanks.
And the result is now official. Weighed in for race 6.
So we come to the trophy presentation for our 6th race. This race, His Highness Sheikh Hamad bin Isa bin Salman Al Khalifa Cup over 2,800 meters. Victory went the way of Knight of Honor in the colors of Al Mohammedia Racing, and we welcome up His Highness Sheikh Sultan Al Din bin Mohammed bin Salman Al Khalifa to receive the trophy. Receiving the trophy from His Highness Sheikh Faisal bin Rashid Al Khalifa, the Vice President of the Supreme Council for Environment, Vice Chairman of the Rashid Equestrian and Horse Racing Club. Well done then to His Highness Sheikh Sultan. He's there alongside his brothers, Sheikh Nada and Sheikh Ali. Well done to the team from Al Mohammedia Racing. Winning trainer, Ali Abdul Majid. And of course, winning jockey, Neil Callan. Knight of Honor then, winner of our 6th race, His Highness Sheikh Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa Cup.
So confirmation of that result, Ali, of race number 6. First, number 3, Knight of Honor. Second, number 2, Brave the Storm. Third, number 5, King of the Throne. And fourth, number 1, Vega Sicilia. The distance is 1 length and half a length, 1 length and half a length. And the time of the winner, 3 minutes 01.64. 3 minutes 01.64. So there is a shot of the start for our next race. Next race is race 7, the H.H.SH.ISA Sheikh Abdullah bin Isa bin Salman Al Khalifa Cup. It is a race for horses rated 0 to 85, 3-year-olds and upwards, over 2,000 metres. Number 1 is Endifar and Ahmed Maki. 2, Return of the Mac, Neil Callan. 3, West Suffolk and Abdul Rahim Jassim. 4, Miss Yvonne, Jason Watson. 5, Illuminated, Alberto Sana. Number 6 is Takaria and Stepan Mazur. 7, Master Bamboo and Edison Rodriguez. And 8, Makak, Hussein Maki. Field of 8 to go to post.
So let's go have a look at these horses then for our 7th race. There is Endifar in the colours of Salman Al-Alawi. Ahmed Maki takes the ride on this horse, trained by Talal Al-Alawi, a horse we last saw running back on the 22nd of December. Finished 3rd that day, but was a winner at the time before that at the beginning of December over the 2,000 metres, same as this trip in a handicap that day. So looking to bounce back from his race on the 22nd of December. That is horse number 1, Endifar.
Moving on to number 2, Return of the Mac. Neil Callan's mount on this occasion was well behind the parent here a few weeks back. That was on the 22nd of December, but a decent enough second behind Roller Jam in early December over 1,800. That's number 2, Return of the Mac.
Just behind horse number 2 is horse number 3. There he is with the red hood. That will come off at the start. That is West Suffolk, horse trained by Abdullah Kuwaiti, a horse who's been out here for a few seasons. A 3-time winner. Abdul Rahim Jassim takes the ride for the trainer. He's been riding him this season. Finished 5th when we last saw him, finishing in behind the parent, who was runner earlier in the Bahrain Turf Series race. But he was a winner back on the 10th of November over 1,800 metres. So horse number 3 is West Suffolk.
Number 4 is Miss Yvonne, Chestnut filly. Miss Yvonne, Jason Watson is aboard. This horse has been finishing second on a regular basis this winter. Was second last time behind Panning for Gold, but narrowly denied here in early December in a race won by Thahabi. That's Miss Yvonne, number 4.
Horse number 5 is Illuminated in the colours of Mohammed Khalid Abdurrahman. Alberto Sana takes the ride on this horse for trainer Hadi Ibrahim, a horse that finished 2nd to Sovereign Spirit. And when we last saw him, Sovereign Spirit was a runner in the Bahrain Turf Series this afternoon, but was a winner back at the end of last season over the 2,200 metre trip. So back down in distance this afternoon, looking to go one better than his last run. That is horse number 5, Illuminated.
On to number 6. This is Takaria, and Takaria has would be one of the outsiders, to be fair, this afternoon. Was well beaten last time. The race won by Panning for Gold, beaten over 26 lengths. Takaria, number 6.
The grey in the field, that is Master Bamboo, a son of Master Craftsman. Edison Rodriguez takes the ride for trainer Alan Smith. This horse in the colours of M&E Racing. And a horse that we last saw back at the beginning of December. Runner-up that day to Endifar, who's also running in today's race. So horse number 7 is Master Bamboo.
And completing the lineup, number 8, Makak, who's been running over 2,200 and 2,400 in his most recent starts. Was over 7 lengths behind Sovereign Spirit here. That was last week. That's number 8, Makak.
A gorgeous afternoon in Bahrain, not a cloud in the sky as we wait for the horses to head out onto the track for this 7th race over 2,000 meters. The 8 runners in this. A lot of these horses then been running in the Bahrain Turf Series, but this is a handicap 0 to 85. They've been running down in the bottom of the handicap as we're waiting for a couple more jockeys to get the leg up, as we wait for Rahim Jassim to get the leg up on West Suffolk. You can see a busy parade ring here today. It's a big afternoon of racing, not just the Bahrain Turf Series, but some key trials for the Crown Prince's Cup, which is in 3 weeks' time. So 8 runners then will be lining up over 2,000 meters. It is our 7th race of the afternoon. And again, Darren Owen will be calling it home in a few moments' time.
So the runners are now loading the stalls for race 7, the H.H.SH.ISA Abdullah bin Isa bin Salman Al Khalifa Cup. It's over 2,000 meters. They start in a chute, which is to the left of the grandstand as we look out onto the course. Runners then moving up into the stalls. In shot there, number 2, Return of the Mac, and Makak, number 8. So number 2, Return of the Mac. Neil Callan looking for a 4-timer aboard this horse. To go forward, that's it. They are all in. 2,000 meters. And they're off. So they go 2,000 meters, and breaking the line nicely was Return of the Mac to the outside, and right there to the inner is Takaria. Makak is now going forward just behind the leaders. To the outer is Miss Yvonne, then West Suffolk, followed by Master Bamboo, Illuminated, and Endifar is last of all. Wags the tail and would be around about 8 lengths at least off the pace. So it is Makak who takes them along now. Makak followed by Takaria, and then with the white cap, Return of the Mac, wide of that one, Miss Yvonne, red cap, just being nudged along to go forward. West Suffolk and Illuminated, Master Bamboo, the grey, they're following, and a few lengths detached is Endifar. They move on down the back, less than 1,400 to go. So it is Makak followed by Takaria, and Miss Yvonne is just behind them. West Suffolk's to the running rail inside the 1,200 metre marker. Return of the Mac mid-division, Illuminated, light blue check sleeves to the inside of Master Bamboo, and Endifar continues at the back end of this field. 1,000 to go. Makak in front by a neck, just shades the advantage over Takaria. Miss Yvonne pushed along to the outside. Jason Watson has worked hard on Miss Yvonne, with Return of the Mac now just easing into third. West Suffolk's going the shortest way, and just behind them then comes Illuminated and Master Bamboo. Miss Yvonne now back pedals and will be last shortly. His last now as Endifar goes into the position just in front of it. They're homeward bound, heading down towards the last 400, and it is Takaria, Return of the Mac, West Suffolk, with on the outside Illuminated, the grey Master Bamboo. They're in no man's land but trying to make great strides. Inside the 300 marker, it is Takaria, Illuminated, Return of the Mac, and Illuminated has now hit the front from Return of the Mac in second place. Master Bamboo down the outside. Illuminated is the one to get to and stretches away. It's a treble for Alberto Sana. Illuminated the winner. Return of the Mac maybe just second from Master Bamboo. Endifar and West Suffolk cross the line together. They're chased by Takaria, Makak, who dropped away, and then Miss Yvonne. So Illuminated has won for Haida Ibrahim. Another winner for the stable this afternoon. This is a horse who returned to action last week and finished a decent second behind Sovereign Spirit. Ended last season with a success over 2,200, and Illuminated has run on in really good style to take it here this afternoon, and it's been it's a treble for Alberto Sana, so he's having a really good day at the office, having taken a Turf Series race along the way. So good win there for number 5, Illuminated, taking out our 7th race of the day. We'll have the full provisional placings in a moment. The provisional placings for the 7th race: first number 5, second number 2, third number 7, and fourth number 1. That is first number 5, Illuminated, second number 2, Return of the Mac, third number 7, Master Bamboo, and fourth number 1, Endifar. The distances 2 3/4 lengths and ahead, 2 3/4 lengths and ahead, and the time of the winner 2 minutes 04.59. 2 minutes 04.59.
Well, let's have a word with our winning jockey then, Alberto Sana. A treble this afternoon. Congratulations on another horse that you've not ridden before, but give you a nice spin this one, didn't he?
Yeah, he got a good turn of foot. The beginning was a bit quiet, and as the trainer said to me, be patient at the beginning, let him warm up, and then the straight are gonna give you a good turn of foot, and that's what happened.
How good is it to be back here then, riding trebles on these big days?
Yeah, you know, it's always, as a jockey, it's always a pleasure to be riding winners and to do our best. And it's not always easy to prove that we are good.
Well, you've certainly proved it today. You are the super sub this afternoon. Well done to Alberto Sana. 3 victories on board horses he's not ridden before. This one, though, coming on board Illuminated in the colours of Mohammed Khalid Abdulrahman. For trainer Hadi Ibrahim, Illuminated winning our 7th race this afternoon. This 2,000-metre handicap for imported horses. Victory goes to Illuminated.
So, returning to the winner's enclosure for the 3rd time today, Alberto Sana aboard Illuminated for Hadi Ibrahim and Mohammed Khalid Abdulrahim. Illuminated winning really well today.
Wait, Alberto. Well done again, Alberto.
I don't know. Is cup or not?
Congrats.
Thank you.
Shoot there, huh?
Inshallah.
The result is now official. They have weighed in for the 7th race. So just confirming that result, first number 5, Illuminated. Second number 2, Return of the Mac. Third number 7, Master Bamboo. And the fourth horse, number 1, Endifar. The distance is 2 3/4 lengths and ahead, 2 3/4 lengths and ahead. And the time of the winner, 2 minutes 04.59. 2 minutes 04.59.
So we come to the trophy presentation for our 7th race. This is His Highness Sheikh Abdullah bin Isa bin Salman Al Khalifa Cup. And presenting the trophy, we welcome once again His Highness Sheikh Faisal bin Rashid Al Khalifa to present the trophy then to our winners this afternoon. And this race goes to, or went to, Illuminated in the colours of Mohammed Khalid Abdulrahman. And receiving the trophy then is Khalid Abdulrahman, receiving the trophy there from His Highness Sheikh Faisal. Alongside him, Mohammed Khalid Abdulrahman. Also up there, trainer Hadi Ibrahim alongside his son, Mohammed, and our winning jockey, Alberta Sana. So Illuminated, the winner of the 7th race, His Highness Sheikh Abdullah bin Isa bin Salman Al Khalifa Cup.
And on to our 8th and final race of the day, His Highness Sheikh Salman bin Isa bin Salman Al Khalifa Cup. It is a domestic Grade 2 contest for the locally bred thoroughbreds. And again, we're looking at a race which is seen as a trial race for the upcoming Crown Prince's Cup. Number 1, Epic and Stefan Lajaj. Number 2, Immortal, Rowan Scott. 3, Mudalal, Jason Watson. 4, Taris, Hussein Maki. 5, Amwaj, Alberto Sana. 6, Living Art, Neil Callan. 7, Midhal, Abdul Rahim Jazim. 8, Rider on the Storm, Andrew Elliott. 9, Manama Girl and Stepan Mazur. 10, Magira, Salam Al-Ajmi. And the 11, Social Distancing, the Mount of Lee Newman.
So the horses in the parade ring are for our 8th and final race, and this is a domestic Grade 2 for local breds, and this very much a trial for 3 weeks' time for the big race for the local breds, the Crown Prince's Cup. So some of the best local bred thoroughbreds in the kingdom running in this race, lining up against each other. And they've met plenty of times in the past. So let's have a look at them. This is horse number 1, Epic, a 7-time winner for trainer Fauzi Nas. Also bred the horse. Stefan Lajaj takes the ride on this one. He finished behind Muddalal when we last saw him in the domestic Grade 1 back just 2 weeks ago. So looking to progress from there. He was a winner the race start before that. That was last season. So the end of last season, he was a winner. That is horse number 1, Epic.
Number 2 is Immortal, Rowan Scott aboard for Mohammed Khalid Abdul Rahim. And it's fair to say Immortal would be one of the outsiders in this field today. Was 7 lengths behind Mudalal a couple of weeks ago. That's number 2, Immortal.
Horse number 3 then, there is Muddalal, the horse who finished 2nd in the 2023 Derby behind Van Halen by a neck. Talented horse, he's a 6-time winner, and he was in the winner's enclosure when we last saw him 2 weeks ago, winning a domestic Grade 1 under Jason Watson, who's retained the ride for trainer Fauzi Nas. Horse then, that grey, is Muddalal for owners Al Mohammedia Racing.
Stable companion of Mudalal is Taris, and Taris was in winning form last season. Won last year's Crown Prince's Cup back in early February, beating Epic with authority. Won that race by 5.5 lengths. Went into that race in good form, having won on its previous outing. Taris had one outing so far this season, a promising one as well, just under 5 lengths behind Mudalal a couple of weeks ago. So that's last year's Crown Prince's Cup winner, Taris, number 4.
Horse number 5, that is Amwaj. Jockey Alberto Sana looking for his 4th victory this afternoon. This horse also in the colours of owner Mohammed Khaled Abdulrahman, who took victory in the last race. Also trained by Hada Ibrahim. This horse was in winning form 2 weeks ago under Kieran Schumacher. 2-length winner over Battle of Tallis. So Amwaj is horse number 5.
We're looking there at number 7. This is Midhal, and Midhal was second when last seen. That was about a month ago behind Black Shadow. Went down by a length on that occasion. That was over 1,600 up to 1,800 here, but does run over 2,000 meters as well. That's Midhal, number 7.
Number 8 is Rider on the Storm. A horse in the colours, will be running in the colours of M&E Racing. Andrew Elliott takes the ride for trainer Alan Smith. Andrew Elliott's been riding it all season. Finished 6th behind Black Shadow when we last saw him back at the beginning of December. That's horse number 8, Rider on the Storm.
And number 9 is Manama Girl. Won the Oaks. That was 2 years ago in 2022. But Manama Girl has been in winning form this season, winning around about a month back, beating Mediterranean Moon on that occasion by a length. So former Oaks winner, Manama Girl, number 9.
Horse number 11 in the colours of ADIYAT Racing is Social Distancing. A horse that won at the beginning of December under Gerard Mosse in a weight for age race. Finished 2nd in a domestic grade 2 last week under Lee Newman, and he's retained the ride for trainer Alan Smith. Beat Blues Queen that time and was 2nd in the Oaks, actually behind Mediterranean Moon last season. So Social Distancing is horse number 11. So there is Social Distancing, horse number 11. Lee Newman taking the ride on this horse, Son of Sporting, as they're heading out, starting to head out onto track, heading down to the 1,800 meter start. A horse that will be heading straight out onto track. We should get a chance to see it is Living Art. He's mounted in the parade and will be heading straight out. So we haven't missed him. That's horse number 6. So many of these horses have been bumping into each other, racing against each other in all of the top domestic graded races. Many of them ran in behind Muddalal 2 weeks ago. There was a Bahrain Turf Series fixture that day. Muddalal returning to top form under Jason Watson. He beat a number of those here who are lining up against him again this afternoon. But the field, it features the 2022 Derby winner Epic. He won the King's Cup over 2,400 meters last season. That's horse number 1. And there's Living Art, who finished 2nd in the Crown Prince's Cup. Taris, who won the Crown Prince's Cup last season, beating Epic. So these are the very best locally bred thoroughbreds. And we can now see 2 horses then heading straight out onto track, mounted in the pre-parade ring. Leading them is horse number 6. That is Living Art. 2nd in the Crown Prince's Cup 2 seasons ago. He also won on Bahrain International Trophy Day in November under Adre de Vries. Neil Callan takes the ride on Living Art, trained by Fauzi Nas, owned by his son Abdullah. This big rangy chestnut. That's horse number 6, Living Art.
And we're looking at Maghera out on the course. Maghera, who won last time, winning by 7.5 lengths over 2,200 metres, beating Campolina in good style. Number 10, Maghera. Runners now are loading the stalls for our 8th and final race today. This is a domestic Grade 2, H.H.SH.ISA Sheikh Salman bin Isa bin Salman Al Khalifa Cup, a race which is a stepping stone to the Crown Prince's Cup coming up here in a few weeks' time. So they're going in at the 1,800 metre start. Immortal has loaded. And Mudalal goes forward. Midhal is the next one to go in. Taris is about to load, won last year's Crown Prince's Cup. Oaks, former Oaks winner Manama Girl loading. Living Art going forward. And we're just waiting now on social distancing. So social distancing to complete the lineup for the 8th and final race of the day. Domestic Grade 2 action. They're all in. They're standing, waiting on the starter. And they're off. Taris drops out at the back end of the field. Away smartly was Mudalal, and that one overtaken now by Epic with Immortal right there. Midhal has got a nice posse. Social distancing is around the field. Dark blue jacket, Living Art just in behind them. Taris settles down in midfield with Amwaj. Not really settling. Rider on the Storm wants to take off out wide. Magira and Manama Girl are currently off the pace. They move on down the far side with a good 7 lengths covering this field, and making the running is Immortal on the outside of Epic, with these followed by Mudalal, and then Social distancing with Midhal just behind them. Living Art, Taris, they are next. Rider on the Storm, red and white jacket is following. Amwaj and Magira are the next two, and Manama Girl is the back mark, and they're inside the 1,000-metre mark. It's Immortal and Epic, stride for stride, toe for toe. Social distancing is sharing third with Mudalal, and then a wave of 3, Taris, Midhal and Rider on the Storm, Magira, Living Art, Brown Sleeves being squeezed along. Amwaj is following, and Manama Girl will turn into the straight last of all. They've got 600 to go. It's Immortal and Epic. They are still locked together, those two. Red and white colours of Mudalal now making an effort. Out wide is Social distancing for Lee Newman. Taris is just in behind the leaders. They're inside the 400-metre marker. On the outside, it is Mudalal and Jason Watson, with Immortal still banging contention. Then Epic. Taris is trying to come home well, but now just lugs in behind Mudalal. They're now heading down towards the last 100. It is Mudalal, but Taris is wearing down Mudalal, and Taris has got to the front for a Fawzi Nas treble. Taris the winner. Mudalal second place. Immortal joined for third by Manama Girl. Midhal, Living Art and Epic. They are the next few across the line, followed by Amwaj, and then Rider on the Storm, Magira, Social distancing. So that is the way they've come home in our 8th and final race of the day. Taris has won for Hussein Maki. It's treble on the day for Fawzi Nas, and we're looking at a horse who took the Crown Prince's Cup last year. What a stepping stone this was for Taris's effort for the Crown Prince's Cup assignment in a few weeks' time. Taris just wearing down Mudalal in the run to the line to win our 8th and final race of the day, and it's a domestic grade 2 for number 4, Taris.
No. Well, Hussein Maki's going to be making his way back into the parade ring. Great to see this horse back to winning ways. Last year's Crown Prince's Cup winner. Finished third on his seasonal return 2 weeks ago. Beaten by Mudalal that time, but turning the tables on the Mudalal today. Taris, the winner of the H.H.SH.ISA Sheikh Salman bin Isa bin Salman Al Khalifa Cup. Very much a trial for the Crown Prince's Cup in 3 weeks' time rather. Taris looking to defend his title in that race. Well done also to winning trainer Fawzi Nas, who not only trains it, owns it, but also bred it. Well done then to Taris, winner of our 8th race.
The provisional results of the 8th and final race today. First at number 4, second number 3, third number 2, and fourth number 9. First number 4, Taris. Second number 3, Mudalal. Third number 2, Immortal. And fourth number 9, Manama Girl. The distance is 1 1/4 lengths and 2 lengths, 1 1/4 lengths and 2 lengths, and the time of the winner 1 minute 51.43. 1 minute 51.43, and getting a rousing reception there, Hussein Maki aboard the Fauzi Nas owned, bred and trained Taris, winner of our final race.
ايه لازم لا عندك
And the result is now official. They have weighed in for race 8. And there is confirmation of the official result for the 8th and final race. First, number 4, Taris. Second, number 3, Mudalal. Third, number 2, Immortal. And fourth, number 9, Manama Girl. The distance is 1 1/4 lengths and 2 lengths. 1 1/4 lengths and 2 lengths. Time of the winner, 1 minute 51.43. 1 minute 51.43. Weighed in.
And we welcome up once again His Highness Sheikh Faisal bin Rashid Al Khalifa to present the trophy of this 8th and final race. It is His Highness Sheikh Salman bin Isa bin Salman Al Khalifa Cup, and the win went to Taris. So well done then receiving the trophy. Their winning owner, Abdullah Fauzi Nas, winning it for his father, Fauzi Nas, who bred the horse and trains the horse, and ridden expertly by Hussein Maki. An ideal trial for Taris heading into the Crown Prince's Cup, where he'll be looking to defend his title. So the winner of our 8th race went the way of Taris. So we can see then our winners today, and what a day it has been for jockeys Neil Callan and Alberta Sanna. Trebles apiece for them, and victory in the 2 Turf Series races. Zagato for Neil Callan taking the middle distance race, a great trial for him for the Crown Prince's Cup in 3 weeks' time, and Brazen Bolt winning the sprint. Brazen Bolt now very much clear at the top of the overall standings in the sprint division of the Bahrain Turf Series. He's been knocking on the door today. He gets his nose in front, Brazen Bolt, for international trainer John Quinn. So that concludes then a busy afternoon. We've had 8 races and two races as part of the Bahrain Turf Series. Congratulations to John Quinn winning with Brazen Bolt, and also connections of Zagato, who took the middle distance race. We'll be seeing him in 3 weeks' time in the Crown Prince's Cup. I'll be back in 3 weeks' time. That's the next Bahrain Turf Series fixture. 2 races on that day, as well as a whole host of domestic Grade 1s as part of one of the biggest days here in the Kingdom of Bahrain. But it has been a fun afternoon, a busy afternoon. Look, plenty of trials for those Crown Prince's Cup and competitive sprint as part of the Bahrain Turf Series. There is racing here tomorrow, but from me and from Darren, we'll see you in 3 weeks' time.
They're off.